people who are using these chargers are people who are just coming here, just charging,
they're pulling off
They're working.
87.
yeah, they're working here and they're plugging in from the town.
So that South Acres would actually work well for people who want to hop off 87. I mean, I guess they can hop off at the mall too, but if you're trying to avoid the mall.
It's right next to the airport.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think that's.
But
That
if
will
you
be
don't have
that.
you don't make payment, what keeps people from just sitting there taking too much time?
Well,
If they don't pay-
freeze charge within like an act.
No, but what you do is what happens is like Tesla has put in like a busy place, not that the busyness is an issue
Yeah.
yet,
Right.
but
Yeah.
if you get idle chargers now. Because you'll go and plug in and then you'll go to Target, you'll go to the mall, and then you will sit there for 6 hours and you only need to charge for an hour or 20 minutes. So then now you're taking up space
It's a good.
for busy areas. So what it does is it does help keep people moving.
Yep.
Not that that's an issue now, but even if you could easily add that.
I put parking my truck over in the Lower Grove Street parking lot, and then I'll come into work for the day, and then.
Yeah, who wants to go
usually
move it
takes-
if it's an inconvenience?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm down below 50% to where it takes all day to charge it up to 100%, but.
Level 3, you would need like 20 minutes
Yeah.
or 40 minutes. Or,
Yeah. So that would be all in the software. Like all what you're talking about would all be dependent on what type of software you get.
So like my truck.
No, I mean like the software on the charger.
on the charge, right?
Like the
there's probably
chargers
firmware
themselves.
that can support different types of software.
Yeah, and like there's different, depending, that's a little beyond my knowledge because I don't actually install them, but like whatever you decide to get for the EV charger will have like, you want to charge X amount of money, or you only want people to be on there for X amount of time, they can do all that stuff. I don't know I'm assuming you guys must have some sort of software for these ones. Probably paying for it.
No, those are all of our free.
No, I mean the city's probably paying for the software. It's like, because when you look up on your phone, like,
That's what space this morning.
I don't have an EV, but you can go on an app and be like, oh, this one's being
So,
used, this charger.
Put your attachments in our.
can manage and monitor.
On the big screen.
Right,
Oh,
but like,
so we
is
can-
that,
We don't have
They decided that.
okay, so you're not
Yeah.
paying for software then, yeah.
What you
There's no
saw.
ads or anything.
Are they not? Yeah,
that's the word.
So they'll show
So they
up
checked out the rest of the line.
like Ford, like my truck
Sewer line that was.
has a built-in app into it, so I can pull that up. It doesn't tell me.
Is it
if the
different than
charger's
all the
being
copies
used,
you submitted?
But it'll tell me where the chargers are located.
Sewer line.
And so, but they are.
Everything.
Nobody's gonna know.
Okay,
Basically, it has nothing to do with.
Oh,
I can
oh,
select,
okay. Then that's
it'll
good.
tell
That's
me if
from
it's-
it, you know,
You slide through wherever.
I know if I'm traveling down the
Yep.
road
Check
on
out.
a road
Okay.
trip,
The electric.
it'll tell me all the chargers that are within the range.
Chargers are pegged to their network to
Yes.
the mothership somewhere.
Yeah.
In
The cloud.
database
That's
for
exactly
navigating
what
these things. Networks, the networks, or whatever. But okay, the city maybe isn't subscribing to anything. That,
yeah,
like
like,
maybe there's a default that we don't.
It could be like Google
Well-
going around locating all the chargers.
well, I think,
Well,
yeah, and I think it's also like, Keen has a EV charger that they don't that's not networked either, because paying the fee, like the network fee for the year was more money than they were making off of the charger anyway.
Well, I
Which
guess.
I'm assuming would be the same for the city because you own the utility. It's like, why, if the network charge, you wouldn't make
Yeah,
enough
it's
off
100,
of what you're, it's $7,000 a year. If you're not gonna make $7,000 a year on the charger, why? Yeah, I don't know if they're actually that much, but
Not even a courtesy, like,
yeah, I'm assuming that's why you guys
Yeah,
don't right now, but a level
Those-
3. And that's again, something you should talk to PMLD about to see if it like having a level 3 charger is gonna change their
Won't be the first.
outputs and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, and you said it doesn't really matter. But she's
Good.
got that.
But, like, Whatever you guys need help with, just keep me in the loop. Yeah, and a lot of times, like, we can look
Oh,
over
he-
stuff before you
for the
submit it
file?
too.
Oh, okay, sure.
That's exciting. And yeah, you guys will get, is it just the 3 with the grant, or did you guys get more?
So we have. Mine and Michael's. Water filtration plant has one. The wharf has one, and MLD has at least 4, but I think they're at least the 6. I think we're either 10 or 12. Both.
And, but they'd have to be bought since, Well, Alicia, I think submitted for 3 of them already.
So Mike and mine are from 2000, the first ones that happened,
So yours were probably already done.
or they didn't get reimbursed at all.
Yeah.
So I
But
think she reimbursed for the 2024s.
I don't think we can, I don't know if we can go back to the 2023, but either way, that's still what, like at least 5 vehicles, 6 vehicles that we might be able to do. It's a lot of money. Are they all lightnings?
Yes,
That's a lot of money.
yeah, because ours were like 85,000
Yeah,
for it was
City
when it
vehicle.
first came out.
huh?
City vehicles?
Yeah, there's an EV rebate open right
Yeah,
now.
where we showed up to the council meeting and the council wanted us to do it, was listen, you could like, now, seats. I mean, we can buy off the state contract. These weren't on state contract because they weren't like a necessity type of thing. We can go like 2.5 vehicles, I say 1 kid.
I think that yours was, I think Alicia did submit for your guys's, because I remember hearing this story.
Okay.
I remember hearing that there was the DPW guys just went and bought them off the lot.
Yeah, so that's what we ended up doing, so he put them in through Sourcewell, ordered them, but then Sourcewell canceled them on them because they couldn't make them quick enough.
Same thing happened to Lake Placid.
Okay.
Cause they're municipal electric as well, so like
Yep.
a bunch of their guys are also getting the lightnings.
So we ended up finding 2 down in Rochester,
Mhm.
finding them right on the lot at the end.
Mhm.
So.
They're great though.
Yes.
What's I can't remember his name.
Michael, yes.
I think so, the DPW guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took us for a ride in one day. Almost made me throw up.
They're back.
He was like, "You wanna see this go to 80?" I was like, "Sure."
0-60 3.7.
Yeah, it felt like a roller coaster.
Yeah. It's just.
Oh,
So,
sorry, we're over.
that's okay, that's
You
okay.
just have to tell me to shut up, Jim.
Work session, so. We do have a good sized agenda tonight, 7 items. Ultimately. We have a 3-person board tonight, or is,
Tom's on.
Tom is on,
Hi, everybody.
yep, he can't hear us.
okay. Good, okay, so we do have a 4-person board, 3 in attendance, 1 on Zoom. Okay. We have enough time, we can discuss work sessions and format, which we had talked about. I talked with staff a little bit about. If we don't talk about it at the end here, we can do it like other business at the end of the agenda of the regular. So with that said, Emily, you have, yes, any item, we can start with item number 1, the 100 Bridge Street porch replacement.
All of the historic site reviews, I believe, are returning because they were on the agenda last week or last month, and we were waiting on the 239M. I don't know if there was any further questions regarding that, but those are pretty cut and dry, and I will have all the materials up on the screen as well.
It was just the 2 Pike Street and the. You guys haven't seen. And then there was the one that the gentleman didn't show up for, was it Pleasant Street? So they.
12 Macomb porch steps is new as well.
So maybe it's just the first one.
Just the first
The first one I remember seeing
Yep,
enclosed porch.
the other ones, we never even looked at.
Right.
We just tabled them.
So how did you handle in the packet? Since I was not here last month. Like for the 100 Bridge Street, I see the Clinton County referral, but I do not have the rest of the information.
Yeah, we didn't print, copies of all of that, but I do have all of the materials
To review it
Yeah.
when we get to it, okay.
from last time. It's exactly.
Are you
what
just trying to
last
save
month.
paper or?
Yeah,
That's,
Okay, I could have brought my materials from last time, because I know it wouldn't be printed.
I didn't even see that. Didn't know that.
and again, some of it I read it, sounds pretty straightforward from the county.
We
I
can go
just-
through that now if you feel that that's a good use of time for
Um,
100 Bridge.
Yeah, why don't we do that? That's the one that I couldn't necessarily see. I didn't go back to the Google Drive to try to search.
So 100 Bridge Street, the applicant is Gina Baker. For zone R2. This is on the corner of Bridge Street and Pike Street. You might recognize it from these angles. She wants to redo porch. There's some dilapidation. We have a series of pictures here. Shippo was concerned about when the porch was redone to have the character defining features. Posts of the porch on the outside instead of behind the enclosure. Otherwise, Shippo said they could move forward with the enclosure of the porch. And the applicant is aware that Shippo's recommendation is to have the posts so that it can be visible.
Could you go back to the photos? Sorry, the ones on the, what posts are you talking about? Oh, I see.
In between each window.
Okay.
Well, in between most of the windows.
So they're already on the outside, they just want them to stay that way?
Right.
Okay,
They want to ensure that the infill remains subservient to the dominant historical
Yeah.
characteristics.
Okay.
Of the porch columns.
okay, sorry.
Which we
That's
also agree with. It was really just had to be sent to the county.
To the county for the
Yeah.
referral. Okay.
The building has a cannonball in it.
On the bridge.
Yeah, that building was a cannonball brick wall. Not.
Like on the
affiliated with
inside.
that, but had, they'd be replacing a wall.
Yeah.
I would have said you had to keep the cannonball.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
So item number 2 would be 15 Pleasant Street porch rehab. Yes, again, this is a returning application.
It is.
Is there anything board members had questions or comments about as a returning application?
Oh. Yeah,
He wasn't here though.
Yeah,
The one that wasn't here.
Right.
We didn't really-
Yeah, so
Was it, okay,
it
so,
was only tabled
never even
because he
talked
wasn't
about it.
here. Yeah.
okay, well, that is. In this case, we do have the county referral and SHPO review. Any discussion the board wants to have or questions for staff? At the moment?
This is the. Well, we had maybe some clarifying questions, and since he wasn't here, we just,
Yeah.
this is wait, that's the answer to this question.
I guess one question in staff, at staff level. I know in here that, SHPO indicates they don't really have concern, in their review. As long as the rehabilitation of the character-defined porch provide that all repairs are made matching existing and historically accurate details, including post railings and brackets. Have we had any review with the building department on how they, let's say this board approves the application and a like for like, how the building department wants that detail?
So. I think it was more of a conversation, I think we may have had it after the meeting last week, was like for follow up. You know, who's actually following up to make sure that these things are being done. So I think that's something that we're gonna have to start coordinating with. The codes office, saying, hey, they went through historic site plan review, sending them a copy of what your review comments were. So that when they get a building permit, they're following up with the building permit and having your review comments to make sure that what is being built is what was approved by you guys. So that's something that we're gonna have to coordinate with both of those.
In my time on the board, this has always been a question for the different boards. And being fair to the applicant, not being burdensome, too burdensome in terms of the material that's required.
Right.
So that is a question, I think, sort of the
Yeah, for sure.
building department level where they
Yes,
are with.
yeah, because I mean, we really don't have the authority to go do that. I mean. The only place where we would really have that, I think, is if you had it, we require to have those as part of the site plan. But with these historic site plans, they're kind of a little bit different. So I think it would work best if it was just run through the codes.
Okay. Any other questions?
On all of them or which one?
I just with that,
Oh.
the second 15 Pleasant Street.
No.
If not, then we can go to number 3, which is the 12 McCollum Porch Steps.
So one thing to do with that one was SHPO recommended limestone replacement of the steps. And the applicant is aware of that, we had a conversation. And SHPO recommended providing a financial hardship to not use limestone. And I have not heard back from the applicant, one way or the other, after that phone conversation.
Okay.
Was the applicant requested just to provide like an estimate for
Yes.
limestone versus?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was also the thing, talking about Fulton Home Street. So that was also, if you notice on his application, he had noted that he was gonna do an enclosure. He's no longer doing the enclosure.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, so it was gonna be too much. To hire an engineer. Right now, he's just concerned about weatherproofing the entrance right now because he's got some water issues. So if he decides to do the enclosure later, we'll come back before he does.
With the appropriate plans. and-
Yes, yeah, detailed and engineered drawings.
Okay. So I guess at this point, the one thing that may make this incomplete is if they don't want to go with the recommendations of SHPO with the limestone, then we need the economic
Right.
information to finalize the review.
And do we also want a letter back from SHPO before we approve, or like our approval would be conditional upon SHPO responding? That's more
I'm-
just like a process question.
I'm thinking that SHPO has given us I mean, we're the ones to make
Okay.
the decision on
And
whether it's hardship or not. I don't think SHPO would.
Oh, okay, I read it as they wanted the documentation, but they just
So I
submitted to us.
put SHPO on that, and they replied to me that they would like to see the estimate. And then they would close the case after that,
So this is still open to them,
yeah.
okay.
So that might further the timeline and they wanna see that.
Yeah, they requested, when it came through, it requested, like supplemental information.
Yeah, it's in the Chris response, I think, isn't it?
Oh, you're right.
Okay. So I guess that's their last sentence. If that is the case, please submit supporting documentation.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, then that's, I guess, a consideration on 12 Macomb. Any other comments, question on 12 Macomb?
No.
If not, we've got application 4, which is 2 Pike Street. Again, another historic. Replacing 3-tab shingles with asphalt architectural shingles. Seems pretty straightforward with other roofing applications we've seen. Any questions?
I just have a question, not really about what they did, but. The asphalt shingles are already not with the historic character, right? Like that was a previous replacement, and now they're just sticking with it. I'm not suggesting that they should do anything different, I guess I'm just clear.
You're saying I replace existing 3-tab asphalt shingles with architectural asphalt shingles?
This could also could be a question after, but I just mean like. The asphalt shingles in general, I guess I don't know what a 3-tab asphalt shingle is.
It's just the amount of like little.
Okay, so yeah,
It's like a bay of 3, looks like 3 shingles, but it's in a sheet that creates the look of 3, but it's 1. So it's faster application, but you can't tell the difference.
okay, that answers my question, that like already this isn't like.
Yeah, so asphalt
It's-
shingles weren't typically on historic buildings back when they built. them.
Yes,
So it's already out of the historical character.
Okay.
So it's-
And yeah,
no, I'm not suggesting that they change it, I just clarifying.
It does not make reference that I immediately see in the original inventory form of what the roof was on this,
Okay,
so. Okay. So if there's no questions on that, then. There's 134 Street.
it says there's a window replacement occurring as well, but it's.
That's moving too quickly, that's for the
Yeah, for the
2 Pike.
Pike Street. There's a lot of, there's there's all this info on us. I don't, is there a cut sheet for the shingle itself and is there windows?
Are you reading where they're using the 6 pane glass window as an example? Under the description?
Oh, that's just an
That's
example.
just an example.
Okay.
I was gonna,
I was gonna say. I-
But
I
is
don't
the,
remember.
okay, thank you for clarifying. Is there a cut sheet for the shingles though, like with the color? That's being selected, standard.
I believe it was the Sierra Gray. For both this one and 134, for 2 Pike and 134, it's the same applicant. Same shingles, and I think I have that listed in the materials.
Is there a picture of it, like the cut sheet?
I can't remember. I don't think it's in the packet.
That's always helpful.
so the one thing that Shippo noted is that the shingles should be black or gray in color.
So we,
So
yeah,
for-
we want to review the colors.
Other comments on that? No? Okay, if not, we got 134 Street, which again is a 3-tab asphalt shingle replacement with architectural shingle roof.
you said this is the same person?
Yes.
Here's that Shippo has similar recommendation, black or gray. Color of the shingle. Pretty good with 130 court for now. Questions? Abby, you good? Good, correct.
What are we on now? 66.
Yeah, I'm looking at. So
I
at 130 court, I have 98 Ohio Road.
Me too.
Yep. After 134.
The
66,
the agenda says 66.
66 Brinkerhoff, sign replacement.
No, the sign replacement. Or. What's that? The ladder.
So the packet
It's
is,
not in the packet.
is remove metal fire escape on north side of, north end of building. for
We're missing one in our package. That's for the,
Is there a wrong one? Brennan?
Well, I don't think,
what's her face on Brinkerhoff.
Planned Parenthood.
Mhm.
Planned Parenthood's not in the packet.
so, and I think, again, this 98,
Oh, jeez, how did that one get in there?
It's the, 98, it's 90,
That's for next month.
98 is for next month.
98 is not on the agenda.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the wrong one. So we
Sorry
got-
about that.
That's okay.
Let's, we run up and print those out for that one.
Yeah,
Cause we can just do that during the regular meeting while they start doing.
Yep.
I can run them and do it because you have 8 meeting minutes. So I'll go.
well, I mean, I can go as long as you want, unless you want to do the minutes.
Oh, you do the minutes, I'll open it up.
Okay.
Okay. Then the last item on the agenda is a returning site plan for Plattsburgh House Prayer.
So there's something a little bit different that you should be aware of for how the detailed review is.
Yep.
You'll notice towards the end of the packet, there's 2 addendums that are formatted as checklists. So we have the original staff report that should be in your packet. And then the addendum, so the addendum 1 is the conditions of approval from the last meeting that the applicant was here, that the board had. And then addendum 2 is when I sent it back out for city departmental reviews, comments, from that. And the applicant did reach, or the applicant's plan preparer did reach out to us this morning with some additional information that meets some of those boxes that were unchecked previously, and has come with a little bit of an updated site plan as well, which will be provided.
Provided during the meeting.
You brought a copy or 2, and then they will be on the screen as well.
We do have a 239M referral this time from the county, which I know we didn't have at the last meeting. That's. Did anybody have any other questions for staff? We will have more time to review this, obviously, when the agenda comes up during the meeting.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Good for now. Tom, you still with us?
Yes. Sorry about that, guys.
You're good.
Okay. It is 6 o'clock, so, we are recording still, is that?
I haven't been, but I will start that right now.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We will move into our regularly scheduled planning board meeting for October 27th at 6 p.m. And if we can all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are, just to point out to applicants, short one board member tonight. We do have 3 members in attendance and 1 member online. If there are any questions in terms of the overall review. Can I get a roll call?
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Costro. Wait for him to turn on your microphone. Tom Costro,
Yes, sorry about that.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you. So we might as well move right into planning board application number 1, which is 25-06 for 100 Bridge Street porch replacement, 2025.
So this is a returning application. The applicant appeared last month and we were awaiting a 239M county referral, which we do have now. The applicant is Gina Baker. She is here staging with us. The proposal is to remove an existing closed porch and replace it on this parcels on the corner of Bridge and Pike Street. The parcel is zoned R2 residential. We have the street views here. This is a historic site. Which we talked about last time. The proposal came back with SHPO recommendations of keeping these posts visible for historic purposes. And we have further pictures of the site here, proposed materials. Are listed here. And again, that SHPO referral. And the county did come back and deemed this a local issue, so no further comment was made.
Sorry.
So the recommendation from SHPO is setting the infill panels back from the front edge of the posts. Is that direct verbiage out of the?
Yes. Yes, this is all copied and pasted.
Okay.
Is that the end of the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so I recall us discussing, it wasn't just the prominence of the columns, but. We talked about doing infill panels and setting them back, you're creating, potentially an area that water could pool if your porch edge extended and having proper flashing, which you're gonna work with your builder, but understanding that could be a concern, but we had talked about the foundation and the height of the posts and that proportion, and I think there was something about how maybe the contractor was proposing to fix the footings or foundation and the post height would be elongated. Where did we leave with that?
We decided that you did not like it that way, and that we were gonna maintain the visual.
Yeah,
Of the length of the post.
okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget the things.
Would it
we
be
had noted.
helpful? Would it be helpful to review the minutes?
Yeah, I think.
From
so,
that
for Jim.
project?
That would
You
be
could-
helpful for mine. I was.
You can pull that up on our drive.
Yeah, just.
Thank you, I couldn't recall when we had left off.
I think that'll give a nice
Yeah.
recap of what we discussed and.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of good conversation. I think if we could summarize it for you, Jim, that would be helpful.
Sure. And Ms. Baker, you have the opportunity to present anything new. If you. Nothing new, okay.
I don't want anyone to see them.
Make a motion, we need to have our notes, so. Discuss those.
The board noted a number of conditions last month and was.
Well, we had
essentially
it-
Waiting.
I don't, we had discussed a number of points, but I don't know that we had set out conditions and looked at the point where we were.
Okay.
Sorry, I was.
So this is.
Yeah, so I think the summary from Rick there is what we would want to. No,
Mhm.
there was discussion about the fact that vinyl isn't historic, but it was pre-existing. And there is a precedent for vinyl on most of the other porches. So it's consistent with what the material palette is. And
So items 1, 2, and 3, along with SHPO's recommendation of the. Setback of the infill
Mhm,
of the columns.
mhm.
Well, that is 3, is that not?
Yeah, yeah. I
Infill
think three
setback from the
encompasses
historic,
that.
oh, okay, yep. And the height of the columns,
Mhm.
okay.
Is that in the motion? Can you show the motion?
We motioned to table it.
The table.
Was the 239M referral the only reason that you didn't vote though?
Correct.
Okay.
This was a new process that the leapfrog timing of it hadn't quite worked out.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, without no new information or no changes, I've made myself familiar with the. Past board review and the minutes. Indicated here. The note is that it was tabled, so I'm assuming that is no seeker review has been completed.
No, we didn't,
Okay,
actually. Yes, we did.
so it's a type E, okay, you classify as a type 2 action, no further action, okay.
Yep.
So seeker's been completed. We do have a summary of the last review, along with now the county determination as a
Local issue.
local issue. So with that said, again, the conditions, items 1, 2, and 3 outlined in the minutes. This seem to be the standard conditions that we move forward in any kind of motion. I have a motion.
We need to move to take it off the table. Take it off the table, or do we just take a motion to? Procedurally, not.
The rules of order.
We've taken it off the table
Get
with
the-
a motion before.
Make it-
Let's just do it to be
There you
safe.
go. So, we have a motion to take.
I'll take it off the table.
Second that.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah.
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Okay. With that in place, do I have a motion for the application? And again, within your motion, please be clear on the conditions.
Make a motion. So I move to accept the historic site improvement plan for 100 Bridge Street porch replacement. Planning board item 25-06 HSR. To include the 3 points summarized in the minutes from previous board discussion as conditions.
So second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you.
Come on, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, have a great night. Item number 2 on the agenda, planning board application 25-07. This is for 15 Pleasant Street porch rehabilitation.
Do we have a representative for this? Okay, great. So, yes, this is the request to remove an existing porch and replace materials that are salvageable from the existing porch. The new material will be in kind. And this is at 15 Pleasant Street. We have the tax map here. Residential historic zoning. Street view. Porch conditions. This property was built around 1875, highly decorative Victorian residential style architecture. Characteristic of this style, combining second like Empire Gothic and cutwork decorative. Very impressive. The proposed materials are listed here. And does include, original posts and beams will be reused. And SHPO had no concerns with this application. And staff is recommending a type 2 action.
Thank you. Mr. Spillman, you have the opportunity to present any additional.
I'll just make note that it said 1875, I heard the deed and other documents say 1826. So with the bicentennial of the home coming up, I'd like to have the porch completed by then. Thank you.
It's lovely.
Thank you. I guess ultimately your application is pretty much to rebuild the porch to its original.
Yes, it'll look the same as it would have maybe 40 years ago.
Anybody on the board have any questions?
Have you come across any, like, do you have other historical photos of it? Just in your own
We have
interest
a
and
couple,
reference?
Actually, the previous owner, the Levy family left a bunch of books in there, and there's some books from the mid-1800s that, you know, describe the streets of Plattsburgh, how they were named, and some other photos, yes.
It's cool.
Yeah, the photo on the historic document doesn't even show this porch, so I was curious. If you-
Like in 2000, when we purchased it, it was overgrown, and we cut a lot of in the process, and we brought them back in the home.
Mhm. Do you have the other posts that aren't here? Obviously, it's being supported, so you've
Yes,
kind of
yeah.
taken them out, stored them.
Yes.
And are they sufficiently structurally sound to be able to reuse the way they're, they're kind of assembled out of a bunch of parts,
Right.
creating these.
The porch deteriorated from the floor, the posts were in the issue. So the people I've had look at it, once the buildup is there, the floor, the posts will more than support the
Mhm.
roof.
What is the kind of skirting along the porch area look like, or will it look like? Mhm.
You won't see the right out there on the side piece there, that's what it looks like. That's just a piece that hasn't been removed yet. So that's what the posts look like, and then the rail and the decorative design.
So the, down below the railing, the gray where the deck is, I mean, they have the lattice on this side.
It was lattice on the outside, the step facing where the car and the driveway is,
Mhm.
there were steps there.
Mhm.
As well, as the drop steps.
So I was curious how you're planning to finish that skirt.
That would be probably lattice work, it would not look like that, it would be white lattice.
Mhm.
It would freshen up the appearance.
You really can't see on the original photo whether that represents any kind of
Yeah, you can.
original condition, but. Yeah. So again, this is an application to repair the porch in kind with potential historic photos to help support the renovation or the repairs. As I stated in the pre-meeting, I do think this is one of those applications where then there may be a consideration of repair in kind. It would be good to know at the staff level from the building department, what information they would like to see from the board or from an application in the future.
Tom has his hand up.
Tom, you have a question?
I lost Tom.
Lost Tom.
Oh, you have to allow him to talk. Just scroll your mouse over TC. Hit allow to talk.
Great, thanks everybody. Hi, I had to change devices and lost audio, so I was trying to do it at a lull. I'm back now.
Okay.
I got it.
Did you have a question, Tom?
No, that was it.
Okay.
I think he
Just
just
the audio side, sorry.
raised his hand to talk.
Okay. So with that said, 15 Pleasant Street, we do have a recommendation from staff. In regards to seeker. As a type 2 action. And before we move to seeker, we do have a public hearing associated with this application. Is that correct in the agenda?
Yeah, there's public.
Okay,
Then we have to speak before we public hearing.
I think it's been in the other order before, but we can handle seeker. It's a type 2 action, or eventually if the board finds that or agrees with staff. So a motion,
I'll make a motion to classify it as a type 2.
okay, and no further action would be required. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Tom. Roll call,
Jim Abdallah,
yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have open a public hearing for any comment related to the project. Does anybody here from the public want to offer comment? Okay, if not, we will close the public hearing. And then we have the application to consider. Do I have a motion for the application as presented?
Yeah, we didn't have any conditions. No.
No.
I will make a motion for application 2507 to approve the application as submitted.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tom. Roll call,
Jim Abdallah.
yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Good luck, Paul.
Okay. Application number 3. There's planning board application 25-09 12 Macomb porch steps. And do we have someone here to represent application, Mr. Wilkins?
Yes, this is a request to replace the existing front entryway steps. And the original application did talk about, as we discussed in pre-meeting, an enclosed front entryway, but that has been retracted. The parcel is zoned R2 general residential. This historic house was built in 1855. It's located in the Point Historic District. And it's been a residential. And the county referral came back on this. And again, because the original application had the porch enclosure, the county said that they're encouraged to provide more information in the application about that.
No, sorry, you can keep going.
And you'll notice that Shiba also talks about the enclosure as well, but also recommends replacement with limestone steps.
So in the current application as presented here is for the enclosure and the steps. Even though we may have different presentation. That is the full application.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And
So I'm confused. I thought there wasn't an enclosure.
The applicant has retracted that part of the enclosure for this, but the original application still mentions that, and that's why it's coming up in the.
Okay,
It was decided after they had submitted everything, that if it was gonna delay the project, that they would hold off on.
okay.
And was this application heard last month?
No.
No, it was not. Okay. Okay, with that said, Mr. Wilkins, you have the opportunity to present any other information.
So I'll just tell you where we're at with this. Originally, we were talking about a structure to try to protect the entryway, the corner of the house, 72. I had that repointed about 15 years ago to try to salvage that. But in order to put an enclosure, that means a frost wall, which even with a poured cement doubled the price of repairing the steps. So we said, well, we're not gonna worry about an enclosure. I don't care. I just want my steps fixed. So we've had Fuller's and K&M Construction come in and price out for cement pours. Then we try to get people in to talk about doing the slab work. After a bunch of phone calls, I finally got a gentleman named Cam Rock 2 weeks ago. And I gave him all my dimensions and pictures, and as of Friday, late afternoon, he was not able to even source the limestone materials anywhere around here, any of his suppliers. So that's where we're at now. We can't get the limestone to fix it. So I couldn't even tell you the cost of it. About 10 grand just for a cement pour, to prep the material, to prep the area and pour steps.
Questions from the board?
Are those two stone slabs just on grade, or do they have some sort of foundation or something?
Those are, yep, the steps, everything is 8 inches thick.
Mhm.
The slab on top is about 4 by 8. And then those bottom ones like 9 feet long. The only thing I think might be, I mean, you can tell by the degradation of those things, they're snapped, those are history. The stuff on the side may be salvageable. I mean, I'm not one to make that judgment. I would imagine once somebody got in there that knows what they're doing, would tell me whether or not the limestone blocking on the sides of the steps that hold up the slab
Can you
are
go-
salvageable, but I don't know. Yeah, look, like those along the side, they don't look to be damaged. The ones closest to us in the photograph, those are the actual steps.
Mhm.
And then you can see the top slab, and then the blocking underneath it going down towards the house. Again, that's just blocks, limestone blocks.
What's like decorative?
What's behind them or underneath?
I imagine it's all hollow underneath.
Okay,
It's
so,
just a cap.
right,
That's what it looks like anyways, but I'm not positive, but I would assume that's how they would build it. Now, just like the steps out here,
Yeah.
right, the supports going up and then the steps would just go down. On the support, so I'm assuming it's all hollow underneath that. We were hoping to do an enclosure to try to protect that, because even on top. Any weather that hits that, it draws the water in, because it's a limestone slab up top right in front of the door.
Mhm.
It draws the water in, whether or not it's sealed or not is irrelevant. When it's wet outside all winter long. When it rains, the whole slab. Moistens and the water it's on the interior of the house.
Mhm.
So it's rotted out, those were replaced, my joists, everything there was been replaced. But and it's dropped that much again since last time I had that repointed, which is again probably 15-20 years ago.
how long have you owned the home?
25 years.
25 years.
So, Mr. Wilkins, have you had the opportunity to review the letter from SHPO in regards to the
Yeah,
project?
that they recommended, alike, yeah.
So at this point, you're looking to remove the request for enclosure. That's a definite change you're requesting in your application here.
Or you mean as far as going with the cement pour? or-
Well, taking out the enclosure of the front end.
enclosures? Gone, I'm not
Okay.
even, after this, just getting some steps, I'm not even,
Okay,
He said they just can't find
you
that.
can't fool me twice.
okay.
Okay.
So that's not even part of the application at
Yeah.
this moment.
No, I don't even wanna consider that.
So the next thing is that in the SHPO letter, they were asking for documentation of economic feasibility. And asking for that supporting documentation to be
Give
submitted.
documentation because they can't even find the materials to rebuild it. So I don't know the cost, he couldn't give me any kind of quote.
Okay,
I mean, I think a step could be documentation from the different stone supplier, contract masons, whomever, saying we cannot source this, you know, whatever you do
Yeah.
have, showing that you put in a good faith effort, I think. And the effort is, they don't even provide it here. That's the answer.
so that is what is faced in the application at the moment to deem it complete and to make a decision here.
Send that to SHPO.
Well, SHPO is asking for that supporting.
Sorry, I would just clarify with
Oh,
him that like,
sorry.
we want that documentation needs to go to SHPO, not directly to us, correct?
That is something,
Yeah.
please submit supporting
You want
documentation.
documentation from the gentleman to say that we can't source the material?
Well, it's really coordination to satisfy this review from SHPO. That can be something you coordinate directly, you can coordinate it with assistance of staff. I've seen it both ways.
But
But that is one of the open items with the application as it stands today.
Is SHPO available to be a resource to homeowners if they say, look, we value the historical integrity of our home, but the way the stone condition exists, it sucks in water and rots our wood and increases deterioration. Would they provide any kind of counseling or resources?
So you have the
Advise them on
opportunity as an applicant to consult with SHPO. They may, again, they've actually, the way I read this, they've determined this is what they recommend limestone, but they recognize that it may be an economic hardship. So
it's an economic hardship.
but they want the they want the. So you have
But I
that.
can't give that until we can find materials.
Well, but so it sounds like they also said, please submit documentation which shows the proposed enclosure. So it's almost like they might even entertain a historically compatible enclosure of some
Right.
sort potentially, and maybe the solution isn't just concrete steps that still would absorb moisture into your home, but a less expensive and less intensive material. Maybe it's wood steps with a wood enclosure that's in the end cheaper for you, so it might be worth reaching out to them to see if they can provide design guidance for you.
And my read on this too, if you guys can hear me all right on this, an 8 foot by 9 foot or a 9 foot by 6 foot limestone slab sure is going to be really hard to come by, but maybe not limestone treads or something, right? So if you need a letter of economic hardship, see what your contractor, your vendor, your stone supplier can supply to say, look, nobody's making 6 foot by 9 foot slabs anymore, but they are making 1 foot treads, right? That would go over some sort of superstructure. So if you're looking to do something besides that, that might be your only choice, right? There might not be an exact in-kind replacement, because the way I read SHPO's letter is they're caring more about the type of material than the size of it, the economic mass or any, whatever you want to call it, right? And so if that's what needs to be done, right, to satisfy the conditions for the historic site district, is it possible to say, I've got quote A, that has limestone steps, and I have quote B that has a different material that will look like limestone but not be limestone. And that can hopefully satisfy the conditions for the applicant.
That's where we're hoping, like maybe we could do a board with stamps, so it looks like limestone still.
That's what the camera said, he suggested a pour, you can color the cement and then stamp it. I said, all right, what's the quote on that? He doesn't do that.
Gotta find someone that does that.
Because he just does stonework, not cement work, so if you can't find these guys that overlap, one or the other basically. Anybody that I've gotten in the cement floor doesn't do stonework, everybody talks about stonework, doesn't do cement work.
You're gonna start a collaboration
It's just-
amongst them.
Yeah.
So Abby, to your point, their comment is in regards to the enclosure and the stonework. Maybe there is opportunity that there's relief on the stonework with a period appropriate enclosure in coordination with SHPO.
Right.
You know, but that requires the coordination with SHPO to get to that final, that final determination from them.
So do we do another application with them, or we just do? What else, like,
So you're currently already registered within their system. You have an application number. Now it's, again, in coordination with staff probably.
I think that would be the easiest route. If you guys can get us the paperwork, then we can coordinate with SHPO. Send them.
So paperwork being like a statement from the gentleman that does the stonework to say, I can't find the materials.
Right, or like Tom recommended, if you can get them to maybe do a combination or your concrete, your stamp guide. Just maybe some other options
Okay,
because.
yeah.
So if you can get the estimate that says, hey, we can't even get it here, but these are the other alternatives that we come up with, we can send that off to SHPO.
Like reusing maybe some of the blocking on the side, it'd be awesome if we put anything on top and the stairs themselves are gone.
Even, you may be able to take some of that, cut it and use it,
Right.
places,
Yep,
so.
That'd be really cool.
so,
So I know this, do you have a copy of the letter from SHPO?
yes,
Okay, yeah, in here it tells you that you could go and log in yourself, and then choose consultation, submit new information. And then if you have questions, you can call or email me at the contact. Well, that's to us, but it sounds like you can choose consultation. I haven't done it myself, but it sounds like, again, that maybe lean on them.
and if you chose reporting staff, who would that be? Okay, and your name?
Emily Reinhardt, I've sent the emails
Okay.
for the SHPO, so you should have my email too.
Your email is the one that was coming up.
Yeah.
now if and when this thing goes, that's our entrance into the house and. You wouldn't wanna put mail in the mailbox right now with the way it is, if and when that goes, if it does go, say this winter before we have a chance to do anything, we just build something over it, what are we gonna do if that happens?
So that relief is typically coordinated through the building department. If you have a structural condition that. You can't get here first, that's their thing to coordinate with you.
Okay,
Okay, with that said, what I would propose, if a motion wants to be made, is that we table this application. In waiting for additional, coordination with applicants, additional coordination with SHPO and. Completing the information.
try to get some more people to look at it and.
The good thing is it's coming up
They-
winter, they're slowing down from the summer work and they're actually taking calls and
Yeah.
planning for
Because
next.
we're at the whim of who will return phone calls, and who will
Exactly.
show up to look at it, and when that happens, who knows? 3 weeks later than it was supposed to sometimes.
Looking on the city
It's-
steps.
Forget the name of the.
Jim, do you wanna do the seeker and the public hearing, or do you wanna wait until?
I think we'd wait until we have a
Okay.
complete application. Okay, with that said, do I have a motion to table the application?
I'll make a motion to table. Do I need to say it all? Application 2509 for 12 Macomb porch steps. Until we receive a response from SHPO? Or until the application's more complete,
That's fine.
second option.
Do you have a second?
Seconded.
Roll call?
Jim Abdallah.
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Abby, you seconded that, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, application item number 4, it's planning board application 25-10. This is the 2 Pike Street roof replacement. Owners 15 Champlain LLC. You have a representative? Okay,
Can you state your name?
Aaron Obius from the Allen Department of Supplemental Things, Team Champion.
So, this proposal is to replace existing 3-tab asphalt shingles with architectural shingles on 2 Pike Street. Built in the 1850s in the Point Historic District. Parcel is in residential 2. Our county referral deemed this a local issue, no further comment. And JIPO came back with recommendation that the shingles be black or gray in color, but otherwise they're fine with the replacement.
okay, you have the,
That's simple. Luckily, it had previously been altered already, so I'm just waiting or anything, they're trying to get the asphalt. And luckily, the position of the building, the street, you see, it's very difficult for you to see the roof, so it's not like even there's a. Each of that was altered, right? So. Yeah, we have no problem, I was sure the recommendation to be dark gray.
okay. Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I'd like to see what colonial slate looks like.
But what,
The colonial slate color. And the architectural asphalt shingles, like there isn't any material with the, like a cut sheet color or the,
yeah, I mean, it's dark gray with.
like, it's important to see that stuff, make our own determinations.
Was the last application perhaps Colonial Slate?
No,
Colonial?
I think that came from the narrative. Yeah, you can see, the application, point number 3. Says the colonial slate color will be aesthetically pleasing to the district, that's where that came from. But there was no, the applicant did not provide. You know, cut sheet of the color of the shingles or anything like that.
Did we receive that kind of information?
Yeah.
Is it this roof and the little porch roof, all 3 of them?
The entire structure.
Yeah.
I was looking,
Yeah, move there.
yeah,
Colonial slate.
So it has red in it?
so it does have hints of red and. That's the
So what are
certain,
the other color options in the standard palette?
You tell me it needs to be dark gray with possibly with lighter grays, not that any color besides gray or black in it. I'm good with that.
is that something that's,
I
feel
feel like
like-
Shipple, that's why you check this stuff, right? People can't just make assumptions, you gotta
sure,
do your due diligence, if we have to sit here through a historic preservation shingle replacement, we wanna do it right.
Love it.
I-
You're filling Rick's seat.
I mean, people
So-
think this is a waste of time, but if
No.
we're gonna be here spending our time doing this, We deserve to have all the information to make appropriate decisions.
So I'll say this, applicant is offering to make sure that it's a gray or I guess it's a SHPO recommended color and that the shingle within the palette that they select does not deviate from that.
So you've got slate stone gray, which is a darker gray. Onyx black. Which is flat black, or state gray. Those would be probably. The three. That would most clearly represent the truth of that.
I'd be comfortable. Giving to exactly the verbiage from SHPO's letter
Agreed.
of gray or black,
Yeah,
and that
Make it-
the final shingle shall not deviate.
perfect.
Leave it to that.
Mhm.
If that's acceptable to the board.
That is very acceptable to me.
Yep.
In
Works
the
for me.
meantime, maybe on future applicants, we make sure
To
to,
make sure that they submit that.
they've submitted that.
Mhm.
Okay. Any,
Did you want something?
Sorry, was that for me?
Yeah, did you say something?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying I agree with Jim. We could put the verbiage from SHPO.
okay, Abby, excellent point, keeping us true to complete applications. I believe that we do have a recommended type 2 finding for the secret classification from staff.
Yep.
With that recommendation, do I have a motion for secret?
I make a motion to accept secret classification as type 2 for planning board project 25-10.
I second.
Barb, you good with the
Yeah.
motion in the second? Okay, and that would be require no further action essentially. Roll call,
Jim Abdallah.
yes.
Abby Musser.
Yep.
Tom Cosgrove.
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you. We do have a public hearing associated with the application. We open the public hearing, if there's anybody here to make comments. No comment, we'll close the public hearing. And then we have the application, presented to replace, the shingles with color as requested or required, by the board and under SHPO's recommendation of black or gray.
Okay.
So, the motion.
Sorry, I thought we did that part. I was already on to the next one. I was like, yeah, you're skipping ahead, Jim. Okay. I'll make a motion to accept this application with SHPO's responses. A recommendation that the shingles be in black or gray for application 25-10. Roof replacement.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
It's even off mute.
Roll call,
Jim Abdallah.
yes.
Abby Musser.
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove.
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, looking at 5.
I bet. So application number 5, it's planning board application 25-11. This is 130 Court Street roof replacement. Again, 15 Champlain LLC is the owner applicant.
Mine's 11. That's a good go.
Aaron Rubius again, same applicant, same proposal, so you use the exact same color. Same time, but we just buy it, exact color.
Just a clarification, it probably said, it says owner applicant. Prepare as 15 Champlain LLC on the. Agenda, but it says 11 Plattsburgh LLC on the. Application, I don't know how critical that is, just wanted to know. Discrepancy.
Like, it looks like it's a typo, because the last was 15,
Mhm.
although it could be a different LLC.
It's a different policy.
It is 11.
We have 11 Champlain.
The 11 Plattsburgh on this one, DJ.
Oh,
So he's got 15 Champlain, which is your 2 Pipe Street. And then 11 Plattsburgh LLC, which is your 134th Street.
and that is the,
Yeah, so he just had basically different names for LLCs for which property he owns. It's the same, technically it's the same. Different LLCs.
so then it's just the agenda, yeah.
It's just okay. Okay.
So. Again, on this one, we have very similar recommendations from SHPO, the same recommendation. Applicant has noted that it's essentially a very similar request. We do have the SHPO recommendation, we do have the county referral as a local issue. We do have staff recommendation as a type 2 action under seeker. So can I get a motion to move the seeker classification forward?
I had one question. on this
Sure.
One, under the 5-star roofing quote, it, goes through his materials and it talks about a galvanized steel strip edge. It was on the other one as well, but mentioned it on this one. Where is that a galvanized strip edge? Is that visible, like on the fascia line, or where is that?
It's just it's probably about an inch tall that runs basically it creates a metal edge, so if the water comes off the shingles, it just kicks it out. So
Right, I know what a drip edge is. I just meant, is it visible on the fascia?
It's about, you can see it there, in that case, it's white, I think. we went to that
So I would
picture.
think that this should be white, right, not galvanized? Both buildings with white trim. The replacing kind,
Manage the fascia color.
Yeah.
It's white, okay, sometimes if it's off white, it's hard, you don't want to create that white line that stands out if it's off white. Sometimes brighter, so the galvanized sometimes blends in a little bit better. Probably just limited colors when it comes to drip edge, like brown or white.
What's your thought?
I mean,
That's all.
it makes sense to me that it would,
Yeah.
in-kind replacement would be white.
White, that's the.
I would wanna, yeah, let me flip back to the other building just to look at, I think it's all white trim, is that right?
I think that was more of a, is that typical like historical, this little the creamier color, right, the white and stain.
So I think picking a standard color to most closely match
Yeah.
the existing trim color.
Yeah.
That's how we could word that. Thing about historic preservation is it's all in the details. That's what sets historic buildings apart. So it seems nitpicky, but I think it's important. The integrity of the structure.
Good. Okay, any other questions from the board? We're moving forward. So I believe I was looking for a motion for
See,
seeker. Again, staff recommending this is a type 2 action with no further action required.
I make a motion to classify this as a type 2 seeker, classify planning board application 2511 as a type 2 seeker with no further action.
second it.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes,
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
we do have a public hearing associated with this application. So is there anybody here from the public? Any comment? If not, we'll close the public hearing. and move to have a resolution or motion for application.
I can make that. So make a motion to accept historic site improvement plan. 25-11 for 130 Court Street roof replacement. With the conditions of following the SHPO request for black or gray shingles, and to also ensure the drip edge matches the existing trim color.
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good night.
What to amend the other one to add that condition, or is it?
Probably,
Think of budgeting.
I would agree. Okay, application number 6. This was the application during pre-meeting, that was noted that it was not in their packets. So, take your time if we have further questions. Is there anyone here to online?
Yes.
Yes, I'm on Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, sorry.
So applicant is online. Again, this is application 25-12, 66 Brinkerhoff Street, sign replacement.
Yes. So this application is to remove the existing signage at the front of the building and replace with brushed aluminum individually cut letters. This is the Planned Parenthood on Brinkerhoff Street. The parcel is in the residential historic district. We have the applicant representative Kayla online with us, and the plan preparer and sign design is North Eastern Sign Corp. There's in the RH district. Built in 1880, located in the Brinkerhoff Street Historic District. There's a street view. And then the existing sign has a lot of weathering and deterioration. So the proposed signage is going to be those individually cut out letters instead of that larger board. And then here are those materials proposed. And the new sign is a little bit smaller than the existing sign in total area.
Can we go back to that picture, please?
This one?
Yeah, is it going to be white?
No, it's a brushed aluminum.
They just used like a.
Yeah, they used it so it's easier to catch your eye on the on their proof that they send you. But it's kind of, I want to say like a silver. We have them, it's done in our Watertown location. This is a requirement from PPFA to fall within the guidelines of upholding Planned Parenthood. They have gone away with the old signs that we have. So this is what they require to be part of the affiliate for our affiliate.
Okay, thank you.
Does. Oh, that.
It is.
That's what?
I was wondering if it was open for dialogue.
If you have
or sort of
questions.
something. Does the sign company part of taking off an old sign and putting on a new one is you're gonna have holes in the brick, and then you'll have the new holes for all the studded standoffs. Is the sign company patching the old holes, or what is the plan to help, I guess, maintain and preserve the brick once the holes are there.
They are filling the previous holes, yes.
What,
I'm sorry, I've never been to one of these, so I am nervous. I apologize.
No, you're
No.
fine. No,
I'm hoping I have all the right answers.
no, and it's not like a test. We're just.
No, I know, but
trying
I'm just a nervous person as it is, so it has nothing, it's just life.
Yeah.
But yes, I was told that they will make sure that the old holes from the current sign are taken care of, so like when it rains, nothing will go in them. And they will try to use old holes if they are able to, like they did on the Watertown location.
Was the Watertown location also a brick building?
Correct, yes.
Oh, okay. So like, is this what the bottom part, the care no matter what will look like? Cause it's
That
like-
will not have white behind it. I apologize that that's how that looks.
No, sorry, I was showing Abby a photo.
Okay,
Cause it says. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Like this.
No, sorry, the one with your text on it. Cause it says brushed aluminum with black vinyl, so it'll be like
Yes,
this.
so it'll be like that, exactly, that little one will be the white, anywhere it's white is brushed aluminum, and then the black is.
Is the care no matter what part?
Yeah.
Okay.
So each of those Planned Parenthood, PP, all of those will be individual letters mounted to the brick.
That's the way I interpret it.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a labor intensive process, and that's a lot of.
They're considered floating letters.
mhm.
Generally, I mean, it's something that can be
What they-
removed, the holes patched, and it's not compromising the historic building, it's removable, it's temporary.
I guess if it's what they gotta do.
So in this case, we
Ship
do
over.
have it as a. The county has found this as a local issue.
Yeah.
We do have SHPO letter, that they. Generally do not have concerns with the sign replacement, although they do know about. Using fasteners with existing holes if possible and patching where
Oh, really? I didn't even-
potential it is in there.
Okay.
Fill holes appropriately and fasten into mortar, not historic brick. So again, they comment on that
Right.
within their letter.
Okay, yeah, so I guess the question for the sign company would be can they locate is the spacing of the fasteners kind of the top and bottom of the P, is it aligned with the mortar joints as opposed to in the center of each brick, right? So in the future, when this would be removed, you don't have a bunch of holes in the face of your brick, but it's the mortar that often gets patched anyways. Would be a consideration.
Yeah, Kayla, are these already made at some certain size that's like the Planned Parenthood wants it at a certain size?
no, they're all made in different sizes depending on where they went on the buildings. The one that we have in Watertown is very large because it's just a brick building with no windows where it is. The smallest one that they have quoted and done the draw up for is Plattsburgh. Our Lowville one is a little bit smaller than Watertown's. It just depends on where it's going on the buildings.
Okay, thank you. So
Yep.
they make it to the size to go just in order.
So I would say, that is an obvious condition. Outlined by SHPO.
You wanna see the note?
Got it.
Thank you.
I can say this is, we haven't seen a sign application within the historic district, I don't believe,
Yeah, we did.
a little bit.
We did one.
Which one did we?
It's
a
like
church
it was,
Building and it has.
no, I think it was a doctor's office,
Oh,
or it
yeah.
used to be a doctor's office and they did it something else and there was like a ramp porch with it or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on Court Street.
Thank you. 'Cause
Okay.
I remember being like, oh, I didn't know we were in charge of signs.
We have, yeah. The one thing I will say is that past applications, a lot of them have been like wood carved signs and. This is a clear deviation
I
from
mean, I
that
definitely don't love,
style.
I don't love it, but
But on the flip side, we also do have SHPO review, which
yeah,
again, past applications. We didn't always have that.
Yeah.
So
I think the doctor's office was on like a newer addition to the old church, so it wasn't brick, it was like ephes and stucco.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any further questions from the board? Tom, do you have questions?
No, I don't have any questions on this one.
Okay. So. We do have a recommendation, from staff, for type 2 seeker classification. So do I have a motion for that finding?
I'll make a motion to classify application 2512 as a type 2 speaker with no further action.
Have a second? Second. Roll call?
Jim Abdallah.
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Then we do have a public hearing noted or advertised for this. Now, public hearing for anybody from the public that wishes to make comment. Not hearing any comment from anybody in the audience or online. Close the public hearing. We have an application, we have a motion for the application with any noted conditions.
Can make a motion. So I make a motion to accept historic site improvement plan. 25-12 for the 66 Brinkerhoff Street sign replacement. With the conditions outlined by SHPO that the new sign should be fastened to the using existing holes if possible, and if not, existing holes filled, and the new sign, the standoffs are mounted into mortar.
Is that motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, final application of the night, applications. And item 7, it's application number planning board 25-02. This is a returning applicant for site plan Plattsburgh House of Prayer.
Yes, so we have a variety of things, new information. From the last time the applicant was here. This is to construct approximately 3,000 square foot single story addition onto the existing 10,000 square foot building. So in the general residential zone. County had no comment, deemed it a local issue. These comments were now I'm trying to remember what comments these are from. Okay, so these are the comments that are in the addendum to. But first, if you take a look at the addendum 1, those are copy and paste from the original staff report. From the last meeting the applicant was here. Those were the conditions that the board proposed. Not those ones. Jim, are you following me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, So you'll see that if it's checked, what we received back from the applicant was satisfied, anything unchecked, was not satisfied. Then what happened is I resubmitted, those changes that the applicant submitted to your city departments and got detailed site plan review comments back. Those are in addendum 2. All of this information was then sent to the applicant. And the applicant has come to date with further criteria met from those addendums that we discussed.
We do have representatives here today. You have an opportunity for presentations.
Okay. So based on the things we were talking about last time,
Okay.
we responded to all those. There were not any substantive issues last time. A lot of it was graphics, like the size of the manhole and then the grayscale of the color and that sort of thing. This addendum 1 and 2 checklists were extremely helpful for me, and I think also for you, to show which things in the resubmission have been addressed, which you can note that, what did you wish? Grayscale rather than color, property boundaries with the lines and distance, survey with a stamp and all that kind of stuff. All that is taken care of. The addendum number 2 did address the city departmental observation of comments. Also, not significant for this project. The DPW, we got this drawing from in April, which shows all the water that is all as it is in the street there. That was trying property comes. But we had not copied this sewer line onto our drawing. And that's what the DPW comment was about in addendum 2. We had not shown that sewer line, which is just under the curve at the north end of the property, not as well enough, but it's that long. But we hadn't shown that. We had this one. And the water line is over here anyway, it comes into the building now. And the sewer comes out here. So we had not shown that. We got that in the garden. We're good. So that. And the curb stop, both Reverend Jesse and myself looked for a curb stop. For the water line, can't find one. Doesn't appear to be one. So. In construction. We can coordinate with the city, and if they wanted to install, or maybe it's under the grass, who knows, it's thin,
We can actually have Public Works go out there and see if they can find it better or not.
Again, it doesn't affect our project, we're not going to be changing water and sewer connections.
The reason why they're asking that is because they want to make sure that you're not building over the top of the water shut off. So if the water shut off is just outside of the existing building, you guys start digging. And then you tear the water shut off and it's shutting the water.
We work closely with these guys and it's, we're on their side. But we will look to try to find what could find it. As you said, if we find it and as we find it, we'll work with them and get it. So that it's working and can be used to shut off the water, which is what they're all about. So it's the work shut off. And the electric, the department's comments. At this stage in the preliminary design of the project, we haven't done detailed electrical designs and calculations. We did find, there was a photo of it, there's an 800 amp 3-phase entrance and panel for the building. That is huge. So, you see that, so big of your electric. What does MLE stand for?
Municipal lighting department.
But municipal design, we enjoy it. And I did look at the electric bills that we got from the church, and we do enjoy very reasonable electric rates, which is nice. But there's no worry about them needing to provide more capacity for this addition. You can see from the electric bills that they're using nowhere near this. In fact, I'm surprised the municipal electric isn't circling back on these old buildings and reducing the entrance sizes, because they're required to be providing capacity for the size of the entrances into these buildings. People are not using. Which is when you get into demand charges, things like that. So this is much bigger than we would be needing. There will be absolutely no increase in demand or sizing of the electrical entrance from the street into the building as part of this project. It's still gonna be twice as big as they need even when we're finished. So that shouldn't be, that's something. The question about the exterior materials. Again, we have to specifically design the building. As you know, the appearance of the building right now is nice and clean. They've painted different kinds of brick, old brick, new brick. It's all a white colored painted brick right now, with dark windows. We're continuing that look. One of the things we'd like to do with additions is not make them look too much like additions. So we carry through the appearance of the buildings. So it will be a light colored wall panel that is very similar to the color of the white painted brick they have now. But it won't be white painted brick. That's not something we do now. Maybe this might be either panel, might be that panel. It'll have this panelized appearance, which the newer brick parts of their building has. With the dark windows. Yeah, and that kind of vertical panelized appearance, like the present building has. It's a nice looking building now. We want to keep it tight and the way it does now. With those colors and materials and proportions. And the last sort of comment was. Last time we were talking about the fact that there were no doors, no front door in the building. The front door is still on the side. Half the buildings. Anywhere don't have front doors anymore. It's not where cars park, it's not where parking is, it's not where people flow, it's not where it's flow. And the same is true here. But it did get me thinking, that are your comments about there was no front door. We are creating the connection from inside to outside along the street side of the building. This is where the indoor lobby and foyer and things are, where in the nice weather there can be doors opening up out to the lawn and out to a patio, which connects the front of the building to the street, but also connects the inside to the outside, which I hadn't thought about yet. You know, you don't design a building in 15 minutes, you think about things to get new ideas, and you gotta be thinking about that as we get further into design, to make sure we have that indoor outdoor connection and patio. As it turns out, it is on the street side. So in good weather, it will appear to be that side of the building is connected. The parking is another thing, is still on the side, people will come around and come into what they do now. That is where much of the in and out from the building is now and will be. It's true that they did have another door on the street side right now, which does not get a very high percentage of the use of the building. So they're gonna be getting everybody into this central lobby, central foyer now, and then circulating to the building. Yeah. So, any questions? Because that's what this is.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Okay. Board have questions, comments?
I do.
Sure.
It says this is a single story, but then in these there says proposed second addition, 2-story addition, and there's drawings for stairs.
There's a mezzanine.
Is it that little thing we're seeing, or it's like mezzanine seating?
Yes, the sanctuary will have the main floor, and then there's mezzanine in there. Or.
So there-
Or legal and some speak.
There's just not a second floor plan included yet.
Yeah, it's not a two-story addition.
Okay, well, it does say that on here though.
Really? Let me
It
see.
says proposed 2-story addition.
I mean, as long as there's not any, I don't imagine there's any.
Yeah, it's not
planning
really a
requirement
two-story.
regarding Tier 1. If there are, it should be noted.
But that, it's still, it depends if it's, you know. Depends on the focus on building codes on.
Well, exactly, so it's important to be noted.
Yeah,
It is as presented, we put the height of the building along the elevations, because there is a limit to the height of the building. That's roof of slope, so the roof, blah, blah, blah. We, because you've got a limit on that. Where that limit, we did calculate and document that on the side elevation. But I'll fire them tomorrow, it wasn't 2 stories.
For our purposes, I don't think it matters what building code and egress and that stuff, so it doesn't need stuff.
We were careful to calculate and document the height of the building. Needs to. Have a height limit in that, so.
Can you elaborate on what the new landscape areas that are the, you know, I guess little bioswales or whatnot, what that, like what a section of that would look like?
Yes, we did the stormwater calculation, runoff calculations in the legals. And what we do. All the time, we reduce the runoff that's into. All of the stormwater system, DOT is always complimenting us, so we, even though we're increasing the impervious area on the site. We are decreasing the amount of water that flows into the city storm system because we shape the grass. In these 50-year storms, of which we've had 3 in the last 6
I
years.
understand the idea of a depression, I just meant what is the, is there a
Grass.
curve or is, it's just,
It's grass, see, we like to make them invisible so that. They get mowed, you don't see them. But they're graded, that's very subtle. So in the event of these big storms. The water will down there, soaked into the ground. Plus the stormwater breaks and pipes.
so looking at the hydrologic analysis, it calculates, you know, the difference in the cubic yards and feet of water.
Yeah.
That will be retained, but you don't document the volume that these will hold.
It's in there, that's 30, I think it's 38 cubic yards. It was calculated, I mean, it's on that page there, I mean, 38. Glasses on. 38.
You said the current runoff to site increases by
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, 31 cubic yard increase.
You're saying that's what the runoff of the site is increased by, but
That's increased, yes.
I'm asking, what is the volume of these?
Well, this has been,
It's not demonstrated that these
Yeah.
support that, is what I'm saying.
well, it does, I know, I mean, we could draw little sections
Well,
through all
yep.
of these and do all.
I just assumed that would be part of the showing that here's the one side of the variable and here's the thing.
More people usually focus that. Will be done. It has been
I mean, it just seems
graded,
incomplete
I mean,
to,
it worked with the draft we did
Mhm.
it. Those calculus have been. Positioned and the calculus intervals between that volume. And it wasn't just made up. So, I mean, we haven't done. Cross sections through each of those to show a few cubic yards of retention possible.
it just is, it'd be good to have it documented or demonstrated that.
Yeah, well, that's what
X
that
equals
does,
X.
document. If you.
Yeah.
Had something to do it, you would find that it was correct. I mean, basically,
That's good.
but if you need us to prove that it's correct with another way of presenting it, it's possible.
So your other option is third party review, responding, you have that option as well.
I would just soon rely on the designer of record or professional of record. If you can add the additional detail like is being asked, then I think. That's a sufficient way to document what you're you're indicating is designed here.
And when that's existing, what you have the new one, set plan?
This picture?
That's the existing.
I mean, I think it can be as simple as what is the area but multiplied by the depth.
Yeah. and that's- Yeah,
But I
that's-
guess fine.
so, see, see where it's showing.
Yeah.
The contour lines that show those pond areas. It also includes the areas here that have been. Made pervious. Where there used to be asphalt. We've reduced a lot of asphalt area. Made that. Well, be less and we, working greater.
Yeah, in your new landscaped areas, is that just grass?
Yes,
They'll all just be grass?
yes, the grass is the. Landscaping we do. I love trees, I got acres of them. But I don't like them near buildings, anything towns. I love grass.
Yeah, I mean, trees and grass aren't the only options, but
Yeah.
uh,
They maintain, they are very durable. The snow plowing, which is half the year here, they let you put snow onto the grass.
yeah,
And then it was melt into
Move it
the
into-
ground, into the ground, and into the depressed areas. We spent a lot of money about 3 years ago in Canton housing. Taking dirt out of their yards, out of their lawns, so the plows would plow into the lawns instead of the lawns draining into the street.
yeah,
We're-
yeah. I just, having like just a plot of grass in the middle of the parking lot. Turns out to be just another place for people to park, I
Well,
feel.
that's-
Like if you just have a grass, like the one in the left corner over there, like not the far left corner, like in closer to the building, it's like, who's not gonna park there?
Well,
Drop off the stuff.
they gotta-
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not like the best landscaping option for a parking lot, in my opinion.
Is it gonna be curved in though?
Wouldn't it show like, like the ramps for sidewalk? For
There's again, the courage to interfere with the
that.
plowing and
There-
getting the snow
Don't
off
see
the
it, so tiny.
driveway. You always like to get the snow into the grass. That's where it melts, that's where it soaks in, that's where it keeps off the asphalt. We notice a lot that you lose parking in the winter, people are piling snow on the parking lots.
Mhm.
We don't like that, we like to make it so we plow into the grass and keep your parking lot at capacity.
So regarding the landscape areas, though, I just want to clarify on the level of detail that's shown on the site plan. I don't see, does none of the lot have any curves? Is the paving just flush with the grass and so everything can kind of run? Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. And then on the sidewalks,
Which is
I
existing.
don't see the
Like-
ramped, you know, like the cuts in the ramping for accessibility, detailed on, like depicted anywhere.
Well, they're flush, because there's no curves, they are flush,
But so the sidewalk is also flush?
yeah. yes.
Okay, okay.
So it's got here, well, that's existing,
You know, I'm talking about down by your accessible parking.
well, here, that's all flush, that's all
And so it's,
flush for the, it is now, it'll stay down.
do you have the spot elevations for the different surfaces?
So with that said.
Yeah, the survey.
You don't have a sidewalk there today, but you're going to pull.
Correct. If I
Okay.
was just asphalt and grass there, we are designing.
And that,
sidewalk.
and that's going to be a flush sidewalk, no curb.
Correct.
What keeps vehicles from accidentally driving into your building?
Well, it's flush now, what we're doing is changing.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
grass to concrete. So people will walk there. Probably successfully crazy, because that is the level of building. This is all downhill. There's new steps here.
You'd have to excavate your site to bring it down to create a stepped curb.
Yeah, I would. Crazy.
Mhm.
So this is where the accessibility happens now and in the future, because that's the level of the building, this all starts to go downhill, you can see the parking lots. See the parking lots. So that's why there is no accessible part down here, because people would have to wheel up along ramp, can't climb stairs. This is where people with accessibility needs to be parking. And come into the building, the way they do now. Not changing that. We're just adding a little bit of needed parking as we add, making the sanctuary. This is all basically existing. Except for the path part. What we've done is restripe it. And coordinate it with the way people are going to be parking and moving. Site.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Even
okay.
the use of the asphalt, we've actually got more parking with less asphalt. And as was commented on last time, we're way over the parking ratio that's required.
So right now, the elevations don't match the building plan. Right? I'm trying to reconcile what's current or what is accurate.
And it's still concept design, you show what you question.
Okay.
We're not doing construction for now.
No, but this is usually a coordinated set for
Yeah,
review.
it should be.
That's binding.
Show me what this is saying, you know, what is.
So the north elevation.
That's all
They
existing.
coordinate
That's,
the doors and
this
the
is the
window.
old building.
No, this is,
That's the new. It's this one right here. 3 doors, the windows. That's the new one. That's really,
Okay.
if you did, I think that is over, how much we play efficiently. It will connect into the street.
okay, thank you for clarifying. I was turned around.
But there's enough, the girls not perfect, I mean, you're right, I could find lots of little mistakes in one. It was real fun. So, very important.
Questions? Comments? I guess getting through the stormwater, you don't have any objection to adding some further detail to define volume of storage. Okay. Good. I think if we have a little more definition in the plan, then we can get past, you know. Our planning board would review this versus going to a third party review. You have a silt fence detail here, temporary silt fence.
Yeah, that was shown, as we put the official was out on the plan of this.
Okay, I see the note up and around the corner and
Some
then
elements on everyone,
it comes down the front.
there is a disturbance. If it's small, I think it's only when there's no sort of fire or anything like that, but where it's starting, of course, you have to.
Yep.
Set it in erosion control measures which are effectively.
So the one other comment that I didn't 100% see addressed here was the 2 parcels. In terms of our,
I did address that,
Yeah.
after the meeting, I sent. I copied your zoning code. And said that. The time the rest of it right here,
Yep, they all had, the copy in their packets.
where I. Cited the definition of the on-site parking and the definition of. The words used in that definition.
Mhm.
To demonstrate that. We were completely compliant with. The language of your zoning. I'll get through this. I was getting real thick. I yellowed it in. Because the on-site parking said on the, land lot or area. You know, of the project, and then the definition of lot was. Here, you're making attack. Yeah, that's the first thing I did last night after that discussion with my dog was. Get accurate. Here it is, right here. Right here.
Excuse me, Brooks, can we have you come up here? I'm just afraid with the low talking that people are gonna hear if anybody is watching.
See, the location of the parking is provided on the same lot. And then the definition of lot is. An area of land. It says a designated parcel, tract, or area of land developed or built upon as a unit.
Established by a plat.
And our deed has parcel 1 and parcel 2. The deed is both parcels transferred in the deed.
So both parcels are in one single deed.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got
So
the
that would get pretty much too.
Is that how you define a plat?
Yeah, so essentially that lot is defined by, it's just broken up into parcel 1, parcel 2, so more than likely, or in this case it was. The city actually owned the old road, which got conveyed back to the property owners at one point in time. So all they did was just take the deed description as parcel 1, parcel 2, merge it together into one lot. So if they were 2 separate deeds, I would argue otherwise, but because they're in the same deed, it's one parcel. It's one packet.
So have you submitted the one deed for this?
Yeah, I've got the one deed, I got it. And interestingly, the deed prohibits any building on the second lot. Here's the deed. There's the deed, 2013 or something, it's paid. And it talks about parcel 1. And then it talks about parcel 2.
Have you submitted this, or can this be submitted?
Suitable. I think I sent it with a bigger copy, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to submit it to staff, or
I believe we received it with the application.
This is not unusual, this is what a lot of these are written in several parcels.
so the biggest thing is that I don't think we had that information as it in one deed. So if that's
This is kind of the proof, to me, the definitions of the
Let me check.
your definitions are also consistent, that piece of land is consistent with your definition, that is a parcel, tract, or an area of land. If an area of land is developed or built upon as a unit.
I don't quite interpret it the same as you, but since you have a deed with it,
Yeah,
and you have one
yeah.
deed.
But that's
then I
what you do
think
with the zoning board. You know,
Yeah.
because if you don't agree with your own zoning board, you should have them change the way it's worded.
Actually, you could feel free to go get an interpretation if you'd like.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And I think we're consistent with that.
So ultimately, if we can enter this into record
Sure.
officially, just make sure it's in the
You want me to
application.
pass that down?
Yeah.
Well, Addie and I had a question.
Okay.
If this says we're doing a detailed review, but then something else says just sketch plan, is it, can we get clarity on what we're doing for this?
Well, so the staff report. Is this a previous, there's not a date, is this a previous staff report or a?
So that
Current
staff
staff
report was from the previous meeting.
Yeah.
And it's included now because, for reference, because it's been a few months since we've seen this application. But the addendums, are
But what's the staff recommendation at this time?
the staff,
The staff report provides like the sketch plan recommendation, but it's not clear to me then what the staff recommendation is.
the staff recommendation is that this detailed site review is complete. And that with the addendum 2, all staff comments, including the departmental reviews would be addressed.
So this would be our final review of this application.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially, if you find it acceptable as a complete application. With conditions, we've already labeled at least one condition. Then that's what the board is here to do. Then. Staff is recommending that it does satisfy the general amount of detail. And then I guess the board has to decide whether the supplemental information meets the additional items like
So-
DPW that haven't been checked off.
Okay. Right, so. If the DPW and MLD items aren't checked off. Can it still be considered complete?
One consideration that the board could have is that they feel that those are a level of condition that the applicant could achieve in coordination with the department.
We respond to those that are done too, with the information I gave you tonight.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. But did we, when they were here in August, we didn't did we vote on anything to accept their sketch plan?
No. I think we reviewed and gave conditions and comments which were codified in this checklist.
Yeah,
I believe that the sketch plan was approved with those conditions.
Yeah, it was. I'm looking
okay,
at the
and so then
documents.
the
Yeah.
intention was that this was a full site plan review tonight.
Detailed review because the sketch plan was approved.
Do you have the minute?
Condition.
You have the minutes from when that?
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I apologize. I thought that we were still at the sketch step. Sorry, I shouldn't slam my hands with my.
So I'm looking at the exhibit 8. Final resolution 25-2 that also has some of that in there.
Here's the minutes from that meeting.
This is the full minutes. Okay.
Did we do the 239M?
So that's referral to the county. That's included in that.
They needed a little issue.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we had a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, the historic site plans reviews weren't being sent to the county for referral before.
I was gonna say this is.
Yeah, it's so now you're gonna see a lot more of them. Because probably half of the city is within.
Route 9 or Route 3.
The fourth page.
Okay, so so following up on the parking. Only. Some more are still the same number of parking spaces provided?
Yes, there's been no change. There's
So
been
80.
no change to the design. We provided all the little bits of detail that people are asking for.
Clarify your question.
Yeah. We talk about some of the conditions that may or may not exist.
Okay, sure.
Like, well, for one of them being, and I'm just talking to Jim and Abby right now, that I don't really feel comfortable overriding DPW and MLD comments based on pictures and photos. I think that we should, I don't know, I wouldn't feel comfortable determining that the MLD power panel is enough based on a photo.
Okay, so you have what I see is two options. Number one, you insist that the applicant close out the check mark with DPW prior to a decision by the board. Number two, you consider that as a condition that can be satisfied, you know, the board could approve the plan as is, but it's a condition that plans will not be signed by the chair until the applicant is sufficiently coordinated with DPW, and staff helps to coordinate that.
Yeah.
I can kind of speak on the DPW portion. So what I would recommend is that they coordinate with DPW, have them come out so DPW can try to find the water shut off. Because if DPW can't find the water shut off, what they can do is they can work with them during construction to install the water shut off. Means that can be noted on the plan. So either it's gonna get noted on the plan where the location is because DPW finds it, or it's gonna get noted on the plan that a new shut off is going to be coordinated, the installation is gonna be coordinated with DPW as part of the construction. So either way, something's getting noted on the plan. So that when that plan set gets signed, and DPW gets a copy of it. When they go back and reference that later on, 20 years from now, to say, hey, where's the water shut off of that? Because that's exactly what we do. Everything is address based. So if they have an issue there, you pull the file, the house file for the address, you open it up. You find the site plan and say, okay, there's the location of the water shut off, and then you go and find it. There's an issue. So having everything on the site plan is parallel to the work that DPW does, especially in an emergency situation.
Thank you. So I will say that I think that should be a condition. Yes. And I still think with the MLD aspect of it, especially because we are a municipal utility, I think that what their comments are about how the utility and electric is going on in our city should be. Like, is it that hard to do an electric load calculation for your new addition?
Well, this is conceptual design.
No, but you're here for a detailed
Yeah.
site plan review.
You guys are different. You don't usually get with this level of detail planning.
I have.
Like we
That's
said
fine.
last time you were here, though, that's just how we're doing it.
Google how many watts per square foot this building is gonna take. This is 3 times as much as you need. I got the.
Then why can't you do those calculations? That's all they're asking for. Your electrical load calculation for the new addition.
Because that's, I can't do a proper electrical load calculation. on
There's
some-
kind of orders of magnitude. You're not doing a detailed electrical
Yeah,
calculation.
order
You're
of
doing a
magnitude.
broad general.
Stuff that we're having. Here, let me show you exactly this, because I, how that works.
If this information is enough, then you should be able to share this information with MLD and they will say it's enough.
Great.
Then that's one of the conditions that will be placed on this. Is that you need to coordinate this with MLD, and if they think your picture's enough, it's enough. If they don't, then you have to do more.
Well, no, that's completely sensible condition, and it's natural and normal as the design goes forward. The planning step is a very preliminary one, about the third.
We're not discussing our order of operations here.
Just tell you, about a third to half of things that go through planning get done. Half to 2/3 never even happens, so you don't design the whole building for the planning board, spend all this money, and then it just doesn't happen. You go step.
There's order.
And you're being very helpful with your experience with this process, and then you take it a step at a time. And deal with these things as the project gets closer and closer to happening.
So as far as our,
It was a fair question. I was pleasantly surprised to find an 800 watt, an 800 amp, 3 phase. And I said, oh my gosh. Why is the electric department making these guys put a 300? Because they have to have demand capacity in there that's costing them a lot of money, not them.
Then maybe that's why MLD wants to know.
Yeah,
so as far as this review goes, you don't have a problem with that as a condition.
I don't know.
So then MLD will be coordinated with as a condition before final signature plans are signed.
we're used to a lot of conditions because this is very typical of the discussions to come up with these questions. And they do need to be answered, but you don't want to slow the process down moving forward. To get to the point where those questions do actually have to get answered.
I think we're getting there. So MLD is a condition. DPW is a condition. Stormwater detail, which we've reviewed the additional detail for
The volume of
for
those.
volume and elevations, additional detail to define that to match with your.
It's just that they were,
volume.
those content were designed based on that.
Okay, so that will be supplemented into your plans to satisfy our comments and staff. You're comfortable reviewing that? Okay, so the stormwater details will be a condition.
One more condition for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I think this 2-story addition wording on here, if it's not 2 stories, then I don't think it should say it's 2 stories. If it is 2 stories, then it should say that on the other applications.
Well, that's a mistake.
Okay. So it is a,
The existing building is 2 stories. The addition is not.
so it's a proposed, instead of a proposed 2-story addition, it'll be a proposed single-story addition.
Proposed 1.5,
Which
because
is
that would be a
taller than the
mezzanine.
2-story building.
Okay.
The addition is 1 story. The existing building is 2 stories. The addition is taller than the existing building. And that's why that height is shown on the elevations. So Dan got confused when it was that anyway. Because it's a 1-story addition, it's bigger than a 2-story building.
Does the new addition, you said it has a mezzanine in
It
it?
has a mezzanine which doesn't count as a story.
They're not providing the floor plan for it yet.
So technically speaking, this is a proposed 1-story addition,
Yes,
and that's what you're going to amend on your plan.
yes.
Okay.
But wouldn't it be 1.5 story?
What is the mezzanine being used for?
Audio visual. So
They have 2 sets of stairs. I mean, it's occupied.
Right, that's what would determine whether it's going to be a 1-story or 2-story.
Right.
it's less than 1/3 of the area that it opens into. It doesn't count as a story.
So if,
So that's,
let's do this. We'll make it as a condition. You can define it per your review of the code.
have the code officer.
Yes.
That determine whether it's determined as a 2nd story.
And then use that, then have your nomenclature consistent across all of
Like
your
that.
materials so that it is
Yeah.
coordinated.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you.
Um,
So the other items not checked off by the addendum 1 was the building materials, which is something you spoke to, but nothing's been provided or
Just my.
for the record or as part of a submission.
Presentation that we're gonna be matching the color of the building, not the material. We're not gonna build a brick and paint.
Okay, so what is the proposed material and color?
Not a final decision. The color is gonna be the color that's there, matching the existing, because we don't want the.
Where is it documented for this as part of this?
In being recorded.
So, well, typically what's shown is you have an elevation view, and that elevation view shows your
Also-
material types, your elevations of your windows. If it is a 2nd story, what the elevation of these.
So there's no drawing there, the rendering shows the color and.
So I'll-
the position.
I'll say this board has a long history of having complete application that shows and calls out actual material. We've actually had that where that's been conditions that have been enforced in the past,
Okay.
and
It's a
It's a-
bad precedence to that.
I just haven't had that discussion with the church to see what material they really want. The renderings they like, the colors that match the proportion, colors of the windows, something like that. What that material is gonna be, we haven't made a final decision.
so let me ask you this, your goal is to get this so that you can move forward with your parking improvements, correct?
This year.
Well, whether this year, but that's the primary goal.
Right.
So if you didn't have a complete application in regards to the building, the future building. Is that an objection that you'd return with that additional information?
No, I guess it would just take some time to figure out what material we'd be using.
I mean, that's,
I mean, so part of the purpose of a planning board and a planning process is it's not about a building in isolation, it's about a building as part of the city. And so the streetscape, the elevation, the materials are all important.
It's not
So
as
you
quick
can't
as-
wait to the very end to consider it. It is actually items that could be
They
considered
have to
now.
analyze it, make sure that it matches our comprehensive. That's what they're doing.
so I guess my goal is to talk through this with the board. To give an option to allow you to move forward, but yet,
From now, we know it's gonna be the same color. We know it's not gonna be a brick building that gets painted, and the building to the right is. Right, the building to the left is clapboard, the building across the street, it's not a neighborhood.
The thing is, we could, so maybe is it a matter of, you don't know what it is, but we know what it can't be, right? Do you?
You can absolutely put
Could-
conditions on what type of material.
Exactly, so
Yeah.
what would you propose? Like, is it?
Matching a whole building.
I'd prefer.
The neighborhood, there is no neighborhood.
I prefer honestly that you return with, again. We consider the site improvements that you wanna make. And try to move that forward as this application,
So you can-
anything
You
in
can
re-
break apart the detailed
anything,
review into two.
it's up to the applicant. But I mean, once again, to allow you to move forward with this versus deeming your application incomplete, because I'm not hearing that we have all the materials for the architectural
Historic
aesthetic.
district, yes, we do that all the time with the historic districts, Potsdam County.
So this is within the neighborhood.
It's not a historic district, real limited colors. Also not burger there or something, right? If you stand out there, I was just down there before dark, you walk around, there's no one here to feel it.
That's the whole point of a planning board.
Well, it's
We're trying to help contribute to the characters of the neighborhood. And I am hearing everything you're saying. I think what we're trying to get across is that we want more details and we hold our other applicants to these standards as well. We had other new construction where we were going down to like what color the sign was going to be and if it was a brick facade or not. These are,
so,
but not, I'm saying like even in non-historical districts, we have had the standard.
so I'll say this, in our site required information for site plan, section 360-37. One of the tab points is E, which is all proposed building materials and architectural treatments.
Okay,
Can't get much more
fair enough.
straightforward than that.
We'll decide now, we
Um,
can, keep that down.
so-
It's gotta be shown on the plan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there should be, what's missing is, one of your elevations, like a typical elevation being rendered, but color, material. Communicating.
We haven't got budget, haven't got expense yet. Easy building, the early fancy snazzy building, something between. We haven't got to that point.
Well, and that's the thing, is there's certain materials that aren't allowed to use. Give the city for building, so if you come in and say you're gonna put vinyl siding on this, well, vinyl siding might not be an allowed material that's used in the city.
so
Then we give you a list of 3 options that you could review.
You can read what's required and submit what's required.
It's not, well, that's not one, it's gonna be, if you get a cement pipe siding, a metal siding panel we use. Or a masonry.
I'll say this does go back to the initial comment from Carly in terms of whether this is a sketch plan or a detailed plan. Trying to come up with some options for the applicant to continue this forward, if that means that they come back.
Create a range of acceptable options.
Well, typically the applicant comes forward with. That detail as here's what I'm proposing.
We do change the construction all the time too.
Well, that's,
Supply chain
that-
costs.
I'll say that's between you and the building department. Once it goes out of here, we approve it and it goes to the building department under your building permit, if you chose to change it. They may refer you back here. That's then.
Requesting approval of an incomplete application at a detailed plan review is a waste of our time. It's just not respectful. So arguing and debating what the basic requests are is not acceptable either.
Fair enough. Listen, there's lots of planning boards, you guys are much more detailed.
Well,
For where it is in the normal planning process.
I will say this, it does very clearly say about
Not arguing that.
if a member here has a comment in regard to that and it can't be answered. well,
So
that's-
is the material being used, is that? That holding up the process, as far as we have to return back once again, like. That's submitted,
So that's where I'm trying to talk through with the board and you as the applicant
Yeah.
on whether. We can somehow split out the building improvements, which we have a review. Requirement through underneath the zoning ordinance, split that out separate. From your site improvements, parking, and then again, the board doesn't have to go along with this, I'm just throwing
Can
this
I-
out here to the applicant. And then ultimately, potentially we review the site parking improvements with conditions. And the condition with any building improvements or anything that goes in terms of before you can go for a building permit, you have to return back here with.
Essentially do a phase one for the parking, phase two for the building.
Correct. And that's up to that, once again, that would be up to, you'd have to. State you're amending your application here, and the board would have to consider.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Because this was, I guess, 2 months ago we saw them. The parking, what was the goal there? Or you said we want to split off the parking section of this plan?
Again, there's improvements like the stormwater
Site work
improvements.
versus.
Correct, basically any of the site work that's proposed here.
But I guess I'm sorry, I didn't word that correctly. They want to do that now. Is that,
Yeah, the paving, they want to get done this fall.
okay, is that what you were?
This spring.
yeah, it's gonna be in the spring.
Sorry, I think you've already said all this. I just needed a reminder. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with,
So if the site work's not getting done until the spring, then what? Why bother separating?
You could do that too. Again, that.
You're talking January approval for everything, but they meet all of the restrictions here.
And
Does-
yeah, the point is, nothing's been denied, just nothing's been presented, it's not restrictive, it's just.
So architectural, why don't we keep down looking and see if there's any other items, and then we can discuss process and how you'd like to proceed. So architectural treatment. As a general. I noted that in here, there is not. Any detail in regards to the improvements associated with handicap accessibility.
What do you mean?
Signage.
Yeah, we haven't.
Well, those are the type of details that we are used to seeing again within a whole cycle. Yep, how is it, where is that, like when I look at. Your sidewalks are all flush, it looks like up to the building, and then you have the handicap. Spaces right there, where do you plan on putting your signage adjacent?
Show that, but I mean, it's statutory, it's ADA, but we can show it.
Yeah, and those are the details that we normally see work through, so same thing with any kind of. Visuals or anything associated with handicap accessibility with the sidewalks.
It's 117, you can't change it either, it's federal law.
Yes, but again, how those.
That's federal law.
How those details though comply with the overall site plan arrangement, those would all be within the plan.
How are sorry,
Yeah, no, you're.
looking at, how are the parking stalls in the bottom right corner? How are they backing out or getting out? I'm wondering if
That's
there's,
existing.
no, but you're paving it, right?
Oh, no, that's existing, it's already paid.
But you're doing some improvements by adding the handicap or the accessibles?
Restrike.
Okay,
That's
So-
existing.
I'm just asking in
That's
terms of
existing.
function,
We didn't sign it, that's existing.
Which area are you talking about?
Yeah, she's.
I'm just asking,
Have a 5 foot.
would you wanna consider adding a
You said
backup
right there.
space?
Yeah, it's-
So you can back out of there more easily. If you're doing site improvements, it would
Right,
behoove you
that's
to
not part of the
consider
project.
those things. Pardon me?
It's not part of this project, we're adding a building here. You're
What do you,
correct.
this is part of your project. This is all on your detailed site plan. We're looking at landscape areas, we're looking at striping.
I mean, we could ask the Reverend if he wants to put a little paving T in there, or if it was new, they could do that.
That was just what I was trying to be helpful and point out.
extra parking, you can eliminate the 2 parking spaces on the end, patch them, so that the other 2 spaces have that 8 foot to back up.
Yeah, if you're investing in paving and all, or striping and all this work, you might want to consider those kinds of things. It's not required.
Are you doing a full paved overlay on this parking lot? Like yes, you're improving the layout and you're improving
We're
the,
just adding asphalt to the new area, so we haven't really. We haven't made a plan to re-top everything. Is that what you're asking?
yeah, so, I mean, once again, when I look at the layout of this from existing to new. Everything at least shown is squaring off and you're adding new sidewalk. You're cleaning it up, but you do not plan the church does not plan to overlay this like as.
We don't have anything approved right now. I mean, we'd love to actually be top of the parking lot, but I mean, when that gets done, we just, obviously with the budget and everything else, you know.
So I think some of that gets to Abby's comments, because yes, we see these but the plans don't 100% clarify all of that. So that's where some of the question comes in.
Yep.
You know, if you have those spots there today and you're gonna be doing a full overlay of pavement, would you improve it so that you have better maneuvering?
Yeah.
Coming out of those spots?
Yeah, I think definitely if we were to repave it, I mean, adding that little back out. Or be beneficial.
So, but in this case, you don't plan on
Yeah.
doing to that level of work at the
Yeah,
end of this
I mean,
one.
obviously you'd have to go through a board and obviously the budget and all that stuff.
Yeah. So where the new landscape areas are, it looks like that's where there's existing paving. So some of them, so you'd have to be actually demolishing your existing asphalt to create that. So I think it would be important to include, a cross-sectional detail of what your excavation and then like base layers would be to actually ensure the drainage. Otherwise, you just have compacted earth and planting grass on it. Like, I don't know that they would actually do what you say it's going to do. So I think there should be a level of, and maybe it's not that level of detail, it's like detailed site plan, but a standard section of what that drainage basin or bioswale looks like and what would be required earthward. Would be important.
Yeah, I don't know enough about laying asphalt, but you're just gonna dig it up,
They cut it and then,
cut it
but it's
up.
gonna become
Remove the asphalt,
compacted.
Graded and put new topsoil and grass in.
But it can't drain anywhere.
We're
It's
doing
just
that, it's
compacted.
costing now.
You have to remove all the subbase out, because all your subbase is impacted, so it
Right.
doesn't allow water to.
Exactly, otherwise water
First
won't.
route is easy, so you remove your
Go through it.
subbase and put pollution topsoil.
Yeah, so having a detail that shows like that kind of,
Leave a 2 foot gravel shoulder under the grass near the asphalt. The tires and stuff like don't go in the mud.
Mm.
There'd be, Sorry.
So within your new repositioned entrance, you plan on curbing that?
Here,
Yeah,
that would be curved just up the sidewalk, because there's curb right there now.
okay.
Then there's no more curb. Now.
So that
Just that second
so that does plan to be curbed.
visibility.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there now. We're moving that over.
Well,
And there's a little curve from when it was in the speech.
so this is where, again, in a full site plan, this is where it gets confusing. Like, when we're looking at a detailed plan, we're looking at its final design. So if it's curved, okay, it's curved, it's noted to be curved, it tells you what the radius of the curb is. It tells you like what the curb section is for a detail, you know, it's a concrete curb, it's a granite curb, I don't know what kind of curb it is, but
The set of plans ready for construction.
we can't, when you say there's an existing curb there today, when I look at your existing plan, it doesn't show curb, it shows face curb along along the front of the drive, but there's no curb radiuses, at least shown on this plan, that return to the sidewalk.
They're doing it, it's never done before.
I don't know what,
Put it
okay,
on the list, everything you put on the list.
I will tell you, I don't know what
And you come with
planning,
another
I don't know
list
what
of
planning
things
board
that-
you go to,
I don't.
but most
spent
planning boards,
$160 million
most
in
planning
construction.
most planning boards require a final design set of plans.
I have not objected,
Ready-
everything you asked for last
hold
time
on.
we gave you.
Ready
Now
for-
you're doing.
ready for construction. Look, I can go down through our checklist within our zoning ordinance.
So put on the list, we'll give it to you.
Well-
It's not hard. It's the stuff we do all the time. Not usually at this step in the process. Everything you.
But
asked for
you're
last
here,
time we
but
gave you-
you're asking for a final detailed sketch plan review.
Detailed
Where
plan,
you
not
should-
sketch.
Okay, sorry, detailed plan review.
These setbacks, and these coverage, the zoning variance, these height limits, it's the stuff, it meets the stuff in the zoning.
It doesn't.
So,
In the zoning code, you were enforcing the zoning.
In our zoning code is a checklist of those required for site plan review,
Right.
which means all of that has to be shown on your plan.
Which is interpretive, so everything you put on your list last time we gave you. We'll have the
But
list.
it was
But last
sketch
time,
plan.
yeah, last time you were here for a sketch plan.
It's uninterpretive.
It's not our
You
job.
could know, because you're the one applying.
Well, I will. If we gave you all this information, it's not enough, we'll give you some more.
It is your responsibility as the design
I accept
professional here
I
to
accept
read this for your client and not waste all of our time.
I know, I gave you everything you asked for last time, now you're asking for more.
Because it's a different step that you came here to do.
so
Right.
the first applicant, the first application you had in front of us was for sketch plan approval.
Okay.
Conceptual approval, okay, we gave you a number of items, things to return. In this case, you're here for detailed plan review. A
Okay,
final plan review with construction documents that provide the level of detail. When you leave this room, you will get your building permit if applicable, and you can go put a shovel in the ground and build from that set of plans that we've approved.
no, we have got 45 sheets of drawings before we go to the building department.
Well,
Then you shouldn't be here, is what we're saying.
They're not gonna invest in them.
well, that's what we,
Before they
Not
get
building
planning
instructions, but site.
so
Very strange.
we see a final set of plans and we're approving them to go be built. Okay, that's what we're used to, that's what we're used to seeing
Fair enough. It's a big gamble,
in,
but we'll give you more, you ask them, it's not normal to do all that before you have planning approved.
well,
But that's what the sketch plan step is for, is you come in and you show us your concept and we talk through it
Not arguing with you.
before you invest all the money
I'm just
in.
saying, look, I've been in front of many planning boards for decades.
And I bet other people in this room have also been in front of planning
Fine,
boards.
all the way over here. This is a little different. We give you everything you asked for. At work, we'll give it to you.
Do we
But
have
we
a
shouldn't have to,
Church still has to
No,
keep
you has to
investing.
make a motion and then.
so,
okay,
Churches has to keep investing in this.
Yeah.
Before they know they have.
yes, and trust me, I feel very bad that he's having to sit here and
they
witness
have to keep
this.
Investing in this, before they know they have planned.
well, I'll say this. Underneath the section of 360-37, a lot of these items indicated in terms of what is in a site plan review. And we've outlined a lot of them, explained a lot of them to you for detail necessary. At the moment, I've seen architectural treatment, I've seen handicap access details, coordination with DPW, coordination with MLD. Stormwater detail, added stormwater detail. You know, confirmation with building code in terms of proposed 1-story addition, 1.5 story, whatever it is, but that it's, you know, consistent on your plan. From there, again, I think we could keep going back and forth in the details. I think it's probably a coordination underneath this section of 361-37 of our ordinance. To make sure that you have a complete site with the details. Again, details such that, you know, you want to renovate this parking lot, you want to go remove the asphalt, you want to, and then you want to repave it. It's clear in your plan exactly what you're doing. And that's what would normally be considered either for review and final approval, so that you're ready to go. It is not a conceptual.
Ready to go.
Okay. With that said, any other questions from applicant? It sounds like spring, you have time anyway, because you're not gonna do your improvements until spring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the asphalt shuts down in another couple weeks, so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. 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 If there's questions to the level of detail, we surely can make arrangements for meeting with staff. View plans in advance of coming back to the board, make sure that, the details we're discussing are there.
And anything in the list that we haven't maybe brought up.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
no further.
No further questions? Okay.
Do you want to table it with conditions? Do you do that or do you defeat it or
I would table it based on the conditions that you.
You wanna make a
spoke about,
motion?
Reading on the list and then the reviewing the detailed section of the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
a
So
motion to
then
table with the list of?
a motion to table with.
Do we have to make the list or can we just make a motion that it's an incomplete application?
Okay.
Because I don't want us to be. I think that, like Abby said, there may be other things that we didn't explicitly call out right now that are part of our zoning code. That, like, we've given a lot of suggestions tonight of things that we're noticing that we want to see, but I don't know if we should list them all.
I would list those just so we can focus on those, so we know what they are.
They're listed in the meeting minutes, but I don't know if they should be listed in our motion.
Okay, so you mentioned.
But I don't
so we
know,
have them.
I don't know.
If I got it all between the back and forth, so.
That's.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay. So
Okay.
we have, I just wanna make sure that we have them for,
Yeah.
when it comes time for review, that we have what those were.
Okay.
So if you guys wanna table it at this point, now we know what those restrictions or those, you call them restrictions. What those recommendations are, we have those. We'll make sure that everything is in the checklist for zoning, and then that will get resubmitted to you guys again. Then you can take it off the table and move forward from there.
Okay, so you feel comfortable we've given the information? Do I have a motion to table the application?
You see if Tom has anything he wants to.
Tom, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I've been following along, but I don't have anything else to add.
Okay. Okay, do you have a motion to table the application?
I could make a motion to table detailed site plan application for planning board item 25-02 with stipulation or recommendation that they review the zoning code and submit a complete application prior to coming back
Okay. No second,
for the board.
I'll second it.
okay. Roll call,
Jim Abdallah?
yes.
Abby Musser?
Yes.
Tom Castro?
Yes.
Harley Leary?
Yes.
Thank you,
Fill in place.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have one other item for other business. A couple items for other business.
I think this is gonna take more than 5 minutes.
It'll take
No,
5 minutes.
Sorry, I just really need to go to the bathroom, but I can hold it for a few more minutes. Are we done? Can you stop the recording? No, I'm just kidding.
5 minutes.
That
5 minutes.
has to go into the minutes.
If anybody's not aware already,
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to this, so, Unfortunately, Rick has left the board, he has resigned. He had some family opportunities to be able to coach, I believe, his grandkids in hockey, which kind of takes up the same time as playing Leeward. Camp, and we're faulting for that at all, so the heavy heart, he's dedicated a lot of years of service to the city between building inspector and then serving on planning board, so we definitely thank him for that. And obviously, we are looking for new planning board members. If you know anybody, we're trying to get a diverse group from, representing each ward. So if you happen to know somebody who's in a different ward who you think would be a good fit, definitely recommend them having them up to us.
I don't actually know what wards.
Do you know what ward is open right now or is underrepresented?
I do, yes, just give me one.
I think I'm one.
Yeah, it was something we had a couple counselors who asked the same question, so.
Here's some prospect, but further south.
Yeah. Um,
I actually,
But that-
I'm glad that you're pausing, because I'm like, I don't actually know. I think I'm one.
I couldn't tell you what any of you were, but I know where Jim's the only one where I know where he lives.
What's the oval?
I don't know what ward it is. It's like two.
Don't you vote?
I do vote.
This is the oval's in
I just know
different.
where to go.
Yeah, I just look up address, where to go.
I know where,
I
I
you
know
don't do
where
ballot
areas
meeting
of
or
each
whatever
council
it's called.
represents.
You put in your address and it'll tell you all the things that are on your ballot.
Who's your council person?
We have wards 3, 4, 5, and 1 represented, so we would need 2 and 6.
Okay.
Not a handicap by all means, if we can't get anybody from those wards and we are getting people from other wards, that's fine, but we just. Would like.
Has anyone reached back out to our previous alternates?
What's that?
Yeah,
Would you reach back
Andrew
out? Andrew and Sarah.
and Sarah.
Not aware of who they are.
Yeah, Andrew Castine and Sarah, she was with the town. Stansburg,
Oh,
Oh, yes, Sarah stands for that.
I'm Ward 3.
I'm 4,
Then I'm one.
yeah.
Yeah, currently you're 1.
Ward 2 appears to be like South Catherine Street area. And as you get to the other side of Broad.
Okay.
Broad,
Yeah.
so which ward did you say? Ward 2 and
2 and
Okay.
6.
2 and 6. Well, Ward 6 is like center.
Is
like
what?
Brinkerhoff Street, it's like centered. City area,
Okay.
Brinkerhoff. Actually, it might be north of downtown.
Okay.
Well, I'm disappointed to have Rick.
Wow.
Who's learned a lot.
His historical knowledge.
Now, and I'm sure if you ever have questions, he would absolutely take
Yeah,
some
I don't
off.
think I have his contact info.
He's been a great resource over the
Yeah.
years. I've known
I
Rick
do,
for a long
and I
time.
can.
I think I have your contact, called you.
And I can get it to you if you need. So. Other business real quick, I just wanted to touch on, I have reviewed with staff the pre-meeting setup. Pre-COVID, we had I'll call it less formal pre-meeting review of projects. It was actually, at that time, we used to meet downstairs when engineering used to be downstairs. We'd meet right in the back, sort of conference room area. It's open to public, but it was more of a sit around the table, flip the plans and review them. COVID came around, it transitioned to this, where it's a meeting before a meeting.
Mhm.
I sort of like the idea of going back to a little more informal.
So it was still held before the meeting.
It was.
But
instead of doing it here and
Yeah.
having the conversation, we could do it in the old council
Yeah.
chambers where there's a table.
Yeah.
We can open up a set of drawings.
So I've always felt it's kind of weird, like, why do we kind of do the same thing twice in a row?
Yes,
It's a meeting before a meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the same, and like, you know, one format was going through a PowerPoint, then we went through again, which I
Yeah.
appreciated the heads up, here's. But
right.
it could be done, like you're saying.
Yeah, so it's essentially kind of what we did pre-meeting, but instead we would be doing it there with a set of drawings that we have already redlined up to show, why we were asking for this or basically.
Please, let's do that. That sounds more educational.
It-
And I honestly hate the pre-meeting being recorded like on YouTube because I feel very nervous to ask questions and yeah. And I know this
You
one's
mean
open-
live stream or recording?
either one. I just
Well, whatever it is.
I know this one will be open to the public, but yeah, I would prefer us to be able to have like a more
So essentially, we
Open
would sit at the table,
dialogue.
and then there would be chairs against the wall, and they would be sitting against.
Sit back
the wall.
there and listen.
They can, I mean, it's just like here, they can't make comments, so they're just there to listen, so that when they get up during the meeting. Then they could address any comments that were made
yeah.
then.
No, I agree that sounds like more of a working session, like you said, if you have a
Yes.
red line, big full set plans, we're all looking at the same thing.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's
Would it still be 5:30?
Yep, still same, everything's the same, we'll just hold it in the old council chambers on the big table with a big set of plans, so everybody can look at the plans. We're all looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like that a lot.
Okay.
That does sound good. Is that still gonna be okay, open meetings law, to have it open?
Yes, yep,
Perfect.
Anybody is still.
Find their way to the dark corner.
Yeah, it just advertises to the new room.
It is intended for a work session for the board. It's still considered an open, subject to open meetings. Applicants, anybody from the public can attend. But
Yeah.
it does create a less formal structure. Even in the sense of an applicant sitting in the audience, we've had work sessions where the applicant hasn't tried to engage.
Yeah.
staring you in the face, so it kind of makes it a little bit harder, whereas. You're sitting around the table and we're all looking at each other going over it while they're sitting behind us,
It's a different structure.
And I've even fallen into it where I've asked you guys a question and the applicant responds and I'm like talking to them. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So that was the main item. Was there any other items that I missed that?
No, I think one thing we. As noted, I'm sure you noticed, we kind of switched to doing the addendums, so I can't speak for Emily, but for myself, when we looked at the staff report, it was really hard to determine what items had been. So they applied for sketch, they were coming back for detailed, it was hard to determine what items had been met as part of the sketch plan. They were kind of a lighter color, but I don't do good with lights and darks. So Emily generated the addendums that basically show, okay, here's a checklist of everything that they met to make it a little bit easier. For me, I'm not sure how you guys feel about it.
I like it as well. I think it was just like your first time seeing it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either, and I do like the checklist format.
What we'll do is we can know on there what our recommendation is.
Right, so I
Moving
think for my
forward,
own
but-
clear, like my not understanding fully, you explained it, but it takes a couple
Yeah,
times
yeah.
to understand, so I see condition of sketch plan approval. And then. You wouldn't, if you hadn't gotten the comments from DPW already, would it have just been the first one? Addendum 1, and then you would have had your recommendation on there, like maybe somehow creating a little more hierarchy on that sheet of how it's guiding us. maybe.
Can you explain more what you mean, or show me what you mean?
Well, so I wanted to clarify, so addendum 1, so typically then, if we start to see this, you come back, is addendum 1 always? Like, is addendum 1 always the same thing, which is, you just know, okay, addendum 1 is the first time back after the first time we saw it, and what it's seeing if they met the checklist.
Right, so essentially you would, every time you meet, so say you require them to come back for a third meeting, which seems like this is what's gonna happen, you're gonna have an addendum 3.
So-
What you wanna make sure of is that they have all the check boxes on 1, 2, and 3,
Mhm.
correct?
Okay, so addendum 2 then isn't from our second meeting, because this is issued before, so.
That's true.
Yes,
Which sometimes happens because the
Right, it's
departments are going
okay.
back and forth.
Yeah, so this addendum 2 has department comments, because they happen to get them before our
right,
meeting and
Yep.
whatnot.
Right.
So addendum 3 would be ahead of the next time they would come back, there would be an addendum 3, and you would say detailed review
approval from today's planning board meeting, and all the conditions will be listed.
So you go back and have these conditions on and the new conditions. And then, okay,
So and I think,
I just,
so for this one in particular, we would have. The conditions. That we read off,
mhm.
but then anything, so they're gonna basically resubmit a new set of plans. And then we would review those plans and then put the additional. Comments from our review,
Mhm.
and then that's what would get sent to you guys.
And does like a zoning table get updated each time, you know what I mean, if there are
If there's, so the zoning table would only get updated if they're changing. Amount of
There's
asphalt,
change.
pervious surfaces, changes to their building, that would require those changes to be made.
Can I make a kind of like visual recommendation is, could you either write staff report addendum? Cause this is an addendum to the staff report, right? Okay, which I have to say took me like a few minutes to get when we first saw it. Not because of you, it just took me a second and like. Maybe even have this same bar here, cause like we have a lot of papers going on up here.
Yeah.
And like flipping, like I've kind of trained myself to be like, oh, this little bar.
before.
Oh,
Like
that means-
when I'm looking through, I'm like finding
This
this.
is the guide, like what did the staff say, what did they?
Well, what we can do is we can just print them all together and staple them together.
Put it right in the staff, right next to right after the staff.
Like,
report.
yeah, if you stapled them all together, that would
Yeah,
also be
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and sorry, I know that's like a little nitpicky, but like I said, you've got like, and sometimes. Maybe this will be an issue with the pre-meetings being in a separate room, like going from pre-meeting to this, I'm like trying to get it all together.
Mhm.
But you guys did great, that wasn't.
Yeah, like, again, our second month in this, so we're still.
No, no,
still with this. The whole process, we're trying to make it easier and streamline it because this, I mean, meetings like this.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest with you, that as much of a hassle as it was, I've been in a lot worse.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, it was fine.
Should we end our meeting?
yes, probably.
Unless we have official business to discuss, if there's something if you want.
No, the only other thing. Can we get back to an official application checklist? I don't know that.
Was there?
That was my thought too, Jim, during the last conversation was, checklist, yes or no. And then you vote on it, and then that might save some back and forth for the applicant and for us.
I think there is one
So we.
Yeah.
created for this project. It's not printed out here.
Okay.
Oh, so that number one, we used to have like a actual site plan application checklist. It pretty much followed along this.
That basically said north arrow, scale
It,
bar.
it had everything.
Okay.
when I've been doing site plan applications as an architect, I found that really helpful.
And it went right down through this section, you know what I mean, and it clarified what to the applicant, but then it clarified to us as well. The format here has changed so many times
Right.
over that.
Yeah, there has
One
been.
existed from when Alicia took in this application.
Okay,
And, I have not completed one for this application, so that could be very well part of some of these things that have come up. And that's on me, but I'm learning.
No,
But
So.
it sounds like
yeah,
it was maybe in a turtle document anyways, it wasn't that it was issued.
Oh.
Right, it is an
Yeah.
internal document.
Right,
I will say that there was a period of time, and again, this is, having changed department staff that's done this probably 5 times. There was a period of time when some staff actually required the applicant to fill out that
I'm almost wondering
checklist.
if maybe
Well,
we
that's
send
just
that
it.
checklist to the
that's
application.
their thing
That-
saying,
that's
yes, I
what-
certify this is included, this is.
That's what I'm
included.
saying,
Yeah.
is that it was actually part of the application and they checked
I
it,
mean,
not a
I hate to
staff.
say it, they should be going to the.
Well,
the-
But it
zoning
expect
book and-
professional due diligence. but-
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and like
Um,
there's a difference between wanting to get your roof replaced and like building an addition.
I think the one last thing, we could continue
Yeah.
probably going, but the one last thing I had was. In the meeting tonight, we had like meeting minutes that you were able to share. And I didn't realize, like we discussed,
Yep.
that past meeting minutes had been going online. Like they've been on,
Yeah, so we discussed that at the last meeting.
Yeah.
The reason that we didn't vote on this meeting is because the only 3 members who were available to vote were Abby, Tom, and Rick. With Rick not being here, 2 members isn't a quorum, so we couldn't have a vote again this month. So next month, we should be able to vote to approve those meeting minutes.
okay. Okay. So then we are going to start presenting meeting minutes again. Capturing meeting minutes and presenting them to the board at the following meeting.
At the following meeting,
Okay.
yes, that's correct.
Like a binder that I bring to every meeting with all copies of meeting minutes as a hard copy.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
The
if
computer-
you're making it already, but. Like, how far back are you gonna just?
I mean, starting.
Okay,
You go from, you basically do it for the year, and then when the year rolls over. you-
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this way you pull up the zoning code over, like, can you pull up the minutes? I mean, it would have been helpful to
Yeah,
I can tell you.
reference on the spot.
I mean, Jim's been to some of our meetings, we're kind of fast and loose in the town of Algona. But they have binders that basically, we have binders that we take home that have our zoning information in them. But then they give us binders before every meeting that has all the information for that meeting, We don't get into big stuff like this generally, we have a meeting once or twice a year, so you're only talking one application in it, but that's something I wouldn't care.
You
if we
have a
went
planning
off
board
freely.
meeting once a year?
Zoning boards,
Oh.
well, zoning / planning, because we don't have a planning board, so our zoning board acts as our. Planning board, yeah, there's not a lot that goes on in Algona. So,
Okay.
yeah,
okay.
Yep.
Any other items? Questions?
I do.
Yes,
So for that site plan checklist, do we want the applicant to complete that?
I think so.
I think it should be
Part
part
of
of
the
your application, like
and then
for
that gets
sketch
printed
plan
off.
review application, detailed site plan application, and it's like the shortcut cheat sheet.
I mean, I think that I'm not, well, I don't wanna tell you to do your job, I mean, like, I think you should check that, like, maybe have your own version that, like, you check off that you received these things.
That they
maybe.
pass.
Yeah, but I think that having them fill it out is also going to give all of us more of a leg to stand on too, and then it can't be turned back on you that like they didn't know.
I will say there is existing checklists for site plans online.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't think.
I don't know if they've ever been included in the actual.
Right,
Like packet, so if they go there and just print off our application, they may not be going and clicking on that and printing that off. I mean, typically
we'll have to.
if I was submitting something, I would go through and print everything off that was there, but.
Yeah.
I think it's something to consider as a full application, you know what I mean, like. Whether it's an application we publish in the future, or it used to be included,
Mhm.
there was a checklist. There was a period of time, again, the engineering department actually. Enforced that the applicants include that as part of their application.
Cause then we don't sit here arguing about what they should have submitted
What
or
the
not.
process.
Or have to go
Yeah.
back to the ordinance and saying.
Like,
architect-
that's not the best use of everyone's time.
Yeah,
So. I think Emily, I'm in agreement with Carly that. Have the applicants included as part of their application. They. Saying it's done.
And that being said, like, I don't think we're gonna expect it for the next meeting, cause those people might have already started submitting and things like that. Maybe.
a couple days ago, and so.
Huh? Yeah, like,
Well, I said January, because they've already missed oh no, next one's November, so maybe December. They might make December's meeting.
Okay,
Great.
good. Good. Thank you both.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, all 3 of you. And our camper dinner.
Poor Barb sits there. You know what?
Sorry, Barb.
And my blood pressure, that guy raises my blood pressure.
Let's adjourn our meeting. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
See you guys.